Yo, say no more about that one. You learn from your mistakes. First school year for a while actually, but it's only temporary anyway. It's fucking vodka that I blame it on vodka anyway. Yeah, but I wouldn't care. We nearly had 15 in there. You need got a hello again, Sean, mate. We nearly got a celebrity presenter for the night. We'll still do it though. Wait for the small numbers, eh? Imagine if I had like Imagine if I had 500 fell in there. Hey, gotta laugh, haven't you? Gotta laugh. Hey, yes, Dave. Molly. Hey, Dave, I don't think you've had a clip of that. Jesus. Just let's see if, let's see if we can do this properly, yeah. Sure we did, Sean. Sure we did, mate. Let's see if we can do this properly, yeah. There's a laugh for you, Dave. Hang on, let me get this right. Let me get this right this time. Check that hairdo out though. Talk about crime watch. Steve McDonald out of Curra. I tell you what, there's better ones than that as well. You know, I've got some corkers of me with hair. Like I've had curtains before me. I could paint it on, like, couldn't I? Could paint my hair on. Sean reckons I look younger now. So does Dave. Yes, Christine. Looks like there was only me mates in here anyway. You can trust me, mates. We'll say no more. Mum's the word. All right, Christine. Did I just say all right, Christine? Pick up yourself. Hmm. Did you ring me the other day, Dave? Tell you what happened. We were driving home and I fell asleep on the way home. Could you believe that? It was only from Scarborough, but what it was, there was somebody's alarm. Well, it wasn't even an alarm. It was like outside the hotel, which was a really nice hotel. Don't get me wrong. It was the nicest, probably the nicest one in Scarborough anyway. You've seen some of the views we had and whatever on them shots, and I think Louise has put a few videos out as well. Really nice place, you know. But outside, only on the second night, you know, when you hear something and you can't get it out of your head. Oh man, it was somebody. I was this. You know, I can imagine these people. You know, have got that thing titanitis or whatever. You know, where it's just like something like that. Oh and something like that all night. So it wasn't a very good sleep. So I fell asleep on the way home, Dave, and I only seen like I think it was was it a missed call or what, mate? So I do apologise for that, Dave. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Do need to catch up. Like, you know what else? That's what I meant to tell you, Dave. You know, this thing about Lincoln, the dancing thing. So I'm not sure what's happened, but the crack is now that it's somewhere else now, mate. So, but we will definitely still do something like. But apparently, it's not in Lincoln anymore. I don't know why. Something to do with the school. Has Phil been like this for 5 days, or has he been off for 5 days and he's just blown it all out and not this live, or what? I tell you what was weird about that live the other night, though. It went off in the middle of the boxing, right? About 15 minutes into where I was rerunning this Nigel Benn fight 25 years ago. And it went off during that. But when I went back to edit it, because it wouldn't let me put the live up on the channel. So I thought, it's obviously because of the boxing, you know what I mean? When I look back, when I went into the studio the next day, and it said, "Do you want to clip out the copyrighted bit?" There's just one button now, whereas before you had to basically edit it yourself. It was all right, carry on. But now they've got a button that just says, "Do you want to remove the copyrighted bit off your video?" Now, last time I did something like that, it took about 3 days to come on the channel. So I just clicked it anyway, expecting all the boxing to go and maybe the song at the start. And anyway, when about an hour later it came up on the channel and all that was missing was the song at the start. Yes, positive vibes. How you doing, matey? OG there, PV. PV, OG. How do? How do, mate? He's going in hard, didn't he, Phil? I've got Louise to back me up. Louise, don't lie. Hmm. Tell you what else I was watching a little bit of before this. Have you seen how much Andrew Tate's putting out? He's put about 500 shorts out today on his YouTube channel. And then he put this thing out tonight and he put it on as a premiere. It was something, I think it was 9 o'clock. Might have been later anyway. It was just before I came on here. So I went on expecting Sandrew Tate in a premiere. Yes, Slim, we will. I'll be up, Slim. Be up yourself. I don't know if you missed all the drama there. I'll tell you about it later on. Uh, yeah, so anyway, I put a note. Asked for a notification, like a reminder. Yeah, so come on. No, everyone's saying I look tanned, you know. Anyway, must be all the carrots I'm eating or all these like tanning injections I've already had. 10 tannin injections today. What about with the head? Must have been Sky. It must have been the trip away, mate. It was sunny for a bit. Can't beat a bit of colour though, can you? Makes your teeth look whiter, doesn't it? Say, I've still got teeth. Like I'm not that old, mate. Man, you can't get this sad when you're looking into a mirror. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Oh, I couldn't do 12 minutes. I can remember when Sunbeds first come out. Well, they had been out for a while, but when I was 16, I went out. I left school. I went to work in this leisure club. It was like a gym with a pool and somewhere where rich people came to chill out. But they had a sunbed. It was one of them, the proper old wooden folded down things. Um, and you had to go on for like half an hour. I mean, who's got half an hour to go on a sunbed, man? Now it's like I couldn't even do 6 minutes now without burning. Slims onto it. Big up the Dove. Big up the Dove tinted. Yeah, man, respect. Respect. You got to allow it, haven't you? You got to allow it. Like I say, we'll get it back, Dave. I will give Phil his own live, I'll entitle it the roasting of Phil. Because I think that's what people want to see, don't they, Dave? What do you reckon, mate? You go, brother. We'll have that catch up tomorrow, Dave. Yeah, big up, Dave, lad. Yes, Pan Deco, how you doing, Deco? On son. Good to see you in here, my mate. Oh, I know there's people are addicted to them, man. Have you seen what you can get now, right? No word of a lie. And we've all heard the injections and all that, haven't we? No word of a lie, right? You can get a drink now. It's like, them little, and I tell no lie, I've not had one. I would never have a tanning injection in my life. Like, no need for it. Never had a spray tan either. That is the God's honest truth. Never had a spray tan. Don't know any bloke who has had a spray tan. But all apart from Chris, I think you might have had a spray tan in your time. I thought, nice one, Chris. I thought Phil would have had that one before, but Phil, you're being beaten to the joke there by our Chris. Big up, Chris. Hey, Chris, you might like this next 5 minutes, mate. Just hang on for it, right, brother? Honestly. Yeah, so it's no it's no lie, right? No no tanning cream, no tanning injections, but you can get this drink. Them like Actimel, them little pots you get. It's like that fucking drink, man, to make you brown. Yes, mate, we're all right, brother. All good, all good. Yeah, that was before she got her hair dyed pink, Chris. I remember that night. Remember that night, Phil, when you were going back home on the plane. You were on your way to the airport. I think it was about 3 or 4 in the morning, and Chris was on. I don't think Chris hadn't met Phil before. We're all banter in the chat, and for some reason, Phil got under Chris's skin, yeah. And it come to the point where I think think Phil was going to just sack his flight home and get a taxi up to Newcastle. The big bombs there. One of the big bombs, Chris. Imagine, I know for a fact that Chris doesn't touch anything like that, right? But imagine if he did. Fuck me. I'll tell you what, fucking, so much for this being serious, man. You messed it right up, Phil. So while we're not being serious, I don't know if Ginger's still here, but anyone who... Let's have a look. Where is it? Yeah, he's all right. He's all right, Phil. He'll let you do out for him.
You know when you get home, walk into a room and think, what have I come in here for? And shit yourself. Talking about plumbing, I had a plumber call yesterday, and honestly, he wasn't in the house half an hour. When he was leaving, he left me a bill for 75 quid. I shouted, "Oi, what the fuck's this?" He said, "I get paid when I leave the house." I said, "When did you leave the house? When you were fucking 12? Anyway, the ex-stepdaughter, she rang me up yesterday. She's 22. She said, "Lee, you know that lad I'm knocking around with?" I said, "Oh yeah, that waste of space and won't do fuck all with his life." She said, "Yeah, but it's not that daft. You stop me bleeding monthly." I flew for the first time last year. What a fuck on that was. I was going through customs when he started pulling my aftershave, my deodorant, my toothpaste, my hair gel, and my shaving foam out of my bag. The customs guy says, "Sir, you can't take these items on holiday." I said, "Why not? The fuck all of us can use. The terrorists don't use, sorry." I'm not saying anything bad about the terrorists, but they're like a wank. You need to knock one out regular. I was in the club the other night when immigration was mentioned, when this lad said, "You're all coming here, taking all our best jobs." I said, "What a load of shit. You don't see doctors and surgeons hanging off the back of lorries and crossing the channel in the fucking dinghy. No, we only get the pedos and the fucking thieves." You know, we always get the blame for the domestic violence stats. Well, my neighbours are Indian, and they're always arguing and fighting, so I often see her with a black eye. But the best of it, you should hear what he's called Chinnagood and proper. Do you remember when you were a kid and your mum, she used to say to you, "Eat all your toast because it'll make your hair grow curly"? Well, I remember the first time I went down between the lass's legs and I thought, fuck me, how much toast does she fucking eat? I don't half miss school, smoking behind the bike shed, poking the girls in the toilets. It was the best caretaker's job I've ever had. Me and Mum and Marlo, we went to Leeds shopping. And there was this lass and she came walking towards us and she smiled at me. I said to Mum and Marlo, "Why, she was nice, wasn't she? But she's got this red dot on her head." She said, "Aye, Lee, she'd be an Indian." I said, "Oh, I thought she was on standby." While we were in Leeds, we popped into Anne Summers to see if we could spice up our sex life. So she bought me a blow-up doll. We got it home all excited when we realised it had a cock. So I took it back, but I felt a right twat when they said it was inside out. We've only got a mother staying with us. Anyhow, the other morning, I walked past the bedroom door when I heard moaning and groaning. Well, me being a nosy twat, I went straight in to see if she was okay. And she was only masturbating with a broom shaft. I said, "Are you having an orgasm? Or are you going somewhere?" You know, women. Well, I thought women like being spoken to during sex. So I've got her bent over the sofa when I said, "Take that, you bitch." She turned around and said, What did you fucking say? I said, nothing, darling. Continue with your knitting. You watch that Jeremy Cow show? Well, there's some very fucking freaks on there. The other day he was talking about ugly little obese people, which shocked me. So I rang Zara B to see if she was on. I've seen women with third-degree burns wear less makeup than her. She's that ugly, she wouldn't even get a date, even if she was a headstone. Zara wouldn't even get a fuck if she went to a Welsh farmer's fancy dress party dressed as a sheep. She said to me the other day that she's beautiful. I said, who are you getting your fucking mirrors off? Official. Sarah did have a boyfriend once, but he managed to chew through the ropes. The last boyfriend, Crinkle, well, he only had one eye, and he named it a guide dog. So he got 2 for 1 with her. Well, it was just a bit of banter, people. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.
Anyway, we got any people left? Kushti. What do we all think of our James there? He is from the same place as Chubby Brown, believe it or not, which I think you can gather because a few of them jokes, Ginger, are a bit close to the knuckle, like. Kushti. Bonjour. I've even forgot what he really says now. I'm not good at this, am I? Yeah, so Mr. Moon's just let me on there for the night. See if we can spice things up a little bit. Well, he's going to have to now change the name of his live, thanks to Phil Graham. We got anyone new in then? Let's have a look. Hey, someone say, let's have a little look. You know, these special guests, you know. What do you mean, how much of them? How much is it? Is it to hire me for the night? It's not cheap, honestly. In flat cap. Doesn't quite work, does it, with the flat cap, like? Yeah, about 5 Slim. Can't see a bloody thing without my glasses, I know that. Don't think it's worth the same with glasses without glasses, like. Slim, did you miss the start? Did you miss me? Do you like my new jumper, mate? I'm now starting to put the big borders on the back. Phil Graham put me onto them. He told me where to get them, mate. Said it's the future, apparently. Motifs on the back. The eyesight's not what it used to be like. A bit weird, Anna. Yeah, a bit weird, like. Anyway, I'll be back in 2 seconds, people. I've just got to go and see a man about the dog. Cheers for that. Cheers for that, bro. Cheers. I put my glasses on, like. Cheers to special guest there, David Jason. That's it. I should have. I needed to rehearse some sayings, didn't I? I've got a few more, like, but you missed 8 minutes. You seen the Steve McDonald, didn't you, Slim? You can't miss out on the Steve McDonald, like. Who's that handsome chappy felt Slim? Anyone who's been to prison will, will sympathise with that photo. Look, what's going on with the point of the top of my head, though? Seen it? It's like it's like a duck's ass, but it's like a backwards duck's ass, isn't it? We got Nostog. Respect. No, that's what it is, mate. You know what? I wasn't gonna. That's the widow's beat. Yeah. Is that what it is? You know, when I grow my hair a little bit, I've got a little bit of like a bald patch there. Just always tell people I'm too tall for my hair. Phil Graham will never have that problem. Like, does anyone like Alan Carr? I'm not gonna lie, right? That Alan Carr live video, the when he did them lives, funny as fuck, man. Remember a few bits of it when he. It was when the supermarkets had just started, putting tills in where you get self-service checkouts. And he was like making a joke about that, about going, walking out with like a 48-inch TV and that. And then another joke, like another joke about, eggs. So you've got like your normal egg, haven't you? Like your battery hen eggs, which back in the day, that's all you had, wasn't it? Hens, chickens were in big warehouses where they're just knocking eggs out. But then as time goes on, and we all got a bit more wary about what's going on in the world. Eggs, we started buying free range eggs, didn't we? So Alan Carr's like, so you've got your battery head eggs, then you've got your free range eggs with pictures of chickens roaming about in a field on the box. He goes, what next? Fucking pictures of chickens on the corkscrew at Alden Towers. It's funny, man. I like him. Yes, Tim. Yes, Big G. There he is. Yeah, exactly. He just swans in like the daddy. Yeah, Phil's been proper slating you, like G. Said you're the daddy in that now. Been the daddy for a while, and he remember back in the day, Phil, when we used to say, "Oh, Big G's like your understudy," and that. I think now trying to compare, like it's not like Sherlock Holmes and Doctor Watson. It's more like what they're called, Cagney and Lazy, or some other duo. What's the other? Little and Large. Hale and Pace, Morecambe and Wise, Ant and Deck. Little G. Yeah, he's all right, man. I laid him out for him. You missed a great start of the show, like, boys. Notice they're all boys in tonight. I'm going to have to change the title of this live again. Like, it's turning into a. What's supposed to be a somber affair. But don't mind that. Don't mind having a bit of a laugh, like. Cheeky sprites in the house there with the Laurel and Hardy shout. Big up cheeky sprite there. I seen another good name for another good name's been popping up. Bugalogs. Remember Bugalogs? Something like your nana would call you now. And James, that was the one thing about your stand up there, your 5 minute stand up, mate. You're on about the toast. Burnt toast, man, and I used to say it's burnt toast that gives you curly hair. Just being picky mad. One Delta G there, like. It's getting the numbers up anyway, lads. I'm going to change the title to Big G. Roast Phil Graham live. With David Jason, special guest David Jason. Yeah, man, didn't you notice? Didn't you miss us like G or what? Didn't you miss us? You must have. 5 days and all. I think I put two shorts up in 5 days, mate. Which is a first for me, you know what I mean? Big up, Steph. How are you doing, matey? Respect. Yeah, put two shorts up in 5 days, mate. Yeah, we'll see if we can get the roast up. See if we can get 20 people in. No, I can't believe that. Can't believe it. Like, very, very silly. Schoolboy era that. Big up the knobhead. That's knobhead, not you, G. Here's somebody. Here's our mate there, knobhead. Let me just get some hands. Does anyone else like the sound of ice dropping into a glass? Oh, just me. Do you want me to turn around? Because you want to, you don't want to look at my ass, are you there, Phil? Come on, mate. Not on a lie. I think he wants to show you the new fashion. So Nike, right, have started putting the big motifs on the back, and apparently that's all right. You know, because nobody, we've all seen that video, haven't we? We've, oh, here you batty. It started off the other way, and then Phil reminded me of that video where the bloke said, big, what was it? Big, big motifs aren't allowed, you know what I mean? Good. Obviously, I did. Obviously, I just did not listen, did I? Look, that was a good video, that one, right? Look,
that a man should not put on.
all right, Jay.
Fuck's sake, what are you wearing? How old are you, lad? Oh, fly, man.
That started off on the other side, that.
You're 50, not 18.
I've just thought, though, honestly, when Phil said, like, it is a nice jumper, but obviously, other than me felt tipping the Nike sign in black, I could just turn it round and wear a jacket.
The worst thing is, mate, it's Nike. It's not even Adidas. What's going on, lad?
Well, you know, you're right there, mate. You're right. And I'm glad Dave Smithers has gone to bed because he wouldn't be happy with that. But I think Mike's seen it, you know.
You need to give your head a wobble, lad.
No, I'm going shopping tomorrow, like. I'm going shopping tomorrow.
Thing is, I shouldn't say it, piss, but I bet you've only just got that, haven't you?
What time does Primark open, do you know, mate? Phil said you know. I asked him early on. He said, ask you.
Oh, fucking brilliant. Have you literally just got that whilst you was away?
Have I hell?
You have,
mate. I was looking. I just, obviously, I got up and I didn't have my glasses on. I just pulled the jumper out. I obviously went to the wrong side of the wardrobe, didn't I? No, that's why I deleted the last live, mate, because of this jumper.
Oh, yeah, you look like a French artist as well tonight. Like, what's going on?
Do I?
Yeah, you just need, French tash going off, and that's it.
What's he called? Oh, yeah, I do actually, don't I? I look like Marcella Marceau, Chris. What do you reckon?
Marcella Marceau.
Who the fuck's that?
Tim who does that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah,
you know
Phil's
what I mean,
got it right,
Chris?
like me. You look like an extra out of fucking LOLO.
But I also look like one of the Hatton Garden robbers or something, don't I? You know, work with PP.
Did you just say PP there?
Yeah.
No, mate. Didn't put yourself doing. You're miles above PP, right? For starters, you're handsome, right? Secondly, you've got banter. Thirdly, right, you've got a bit of charisma and you can stand up for yourself. Fourthly, right, you just, well, you didn't talk shit, mate. He does. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm getting grief for the jumper here, like Chris.
You need to stop taking fashion tips off.
You don't want to buy a Nike jumper, do you, Chris?
Your Nike jumper's not going to fucking fit me, mate. How are you? Seen the size of me?
Chris is like 9 stone went through.
Fucking hell. Thank you, Jay, mate. Honestly, that's a compliment, that, bro.
How are you doing, Brick Lad? You alright?
I'm fucking sound, G. How's you, kid?
Yeah, I haven't seen you for absolute ages. Where you been?
It's just the way it works. bud. Like, I mean, I love coming on, doing whatever, but it's not gonna it's getting toxic some places, bud. Let's face it.
I know. Well, I've missed having a banter with you and ripping shit out of you.
Well, you can't always do that, bud. I'm always listen, mate. You can always pop into me lives whenever they happen at random times, but they still get deleted, and it's still just unplanned. But you know, Moon was there the last one.
Yeah, man. Chris, didn't you see Chris on here? It was only last week, wasn't it, Chris? You were on here for a good hour or two, weren't you?
And that was the night I done a live early hours of the morning, bud. And I'm sure you commented in the chat you did, mate.
Yeah, man. Because Chris, you know what Chris described this as, Big G.
Go on.
He said my channel is like, you know, when you go out with the lads on a Saturday night, you know, the first pub you go in. This is what my channel's like. And I thought, is that a compliment or not?
Aye,
like,
it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it is, mate.
Of course it is.
Was that a good description? No, I didn't mind that, Chris. It was quite a good description, mate.
Moon,
the first
Moon,
pub you go in, you know, when you just have your first few pints and then it all goes tits up.
The comfortable bar where everyone knows each other, where you're on fucking like too pissed, too fucking unsociable, whatever. Everyone's still cushy and say you all like to go to a nice place, and this is that place. And unfortunately, Moon, I mean, if that sounded a bit like uncomplimentary, then that's tough shit. But it wasn't.
No, it's chilled in here, mate.
I thought, no, that's not bad. It's not. I'll settle for that, Chris. So what are your lives then, Chris? What's your channel?
What my I haven't got. I mean, I haven't got a channel.
Are you the party?
I can get live on StreamYard and I get fucking. There's people that jump in and they're all nice people. I've unblocked everyone, demodded fucking everyone, and give a couple of spanners back. It's a little bit of a fairer playing field, but for me, mate, it's just as and when. I'm so much prefer being on other people's.
Yeah, what I mean is in the context of me being the first pub, so you were obviously like the clanky man, aren't you? You know, like 6 o'clock in the morning when there's nowhere else to go.
Obviously, mate. I mean, you're not going to get no more fucking gloves off fucking nitty gritty than me at 4:30 in the morning, piss your ass drunk. You know, it's one of them ones, isn't it?
G, have you caught any of Chris's? I can't remember. Does G come in them like them mad ones, Chris? G, have you ever been in one?
Oh yeah, I pop into Chris's when I can, man. It usually doesn't mean like crack a friggin' dawn, like, you know, like 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff. I'm a kid by then.
There's no timetable with Chris, like. That's one thing you don't get, you know what I mean?
I was scared off anyway.
With this quiz, isn't it, Chris? I mean, it's a running joke with these bombs and whiz, and it's going with it, aren't they?
Oh, I got started fucking months and months ago, and it's like, for me, I just, if someone thinks that they can have something against us, I'm like, well, fucking hell, you know, if that's as much as it can go at being a whiz freak.
Like, it's an easy joke, isn't it? It's easy, in it, man. They need to come up with something new, don't they?
It is. I mean, don't get us wrong. I didn't really get much. I'm not allowed in most of the chats, Moon, to be honest with you. But I just, you know, them spanner riddled chats, you know, where they kind of handle a little bit of even playing field back and forth. You only have to say hello or oi people, and boom, you're timed out, blocked, and then you're getting called a wrong and everything. So try not to piss them off, at Moon. They're not worth it.
I think there's one of them channels on right now, in the mate. It's just, I think he seen I was going live and he thought, I'm not having Moon nicking all my viewers, so he's gone live. Expo.
Oh, Expo's a fucking
late one.
Oh, I can't stand that cunt anymore. Can't fucking stand him. The cult leader, all these little cult wallahs. Honestly, fuck me. I just really can't get away with him anymore. You know, you can just see what's going to happen. He lined people up to roast them, it's that whatever. But he kicked me the last time I was on his panel. He kicked his, and Expo doesn't really kick many people. He just kicked his. John Smith, he's getting fucking, he's doing something new, and that's kind of interesting. Do you know what I mean? But he's still a tit.
I missed that bit. That must have happened over the last few days. Has he fell out with Expo now, has he?
Don't know what the fuck. I don't know if it was all designed for fucking boosting Expo's views, because if you realise he wasn't getting the 300 plus 400 fucking mark anymore. He was like 250s, top 200s, and like Irish and all the rest of them, and fucking they've all drew a line in the sand and they made up, like his friends on YouTube sort of thing. But doesn't mean because they've drew a line in the sand that I have to sit and play sandcastles with them, does it?
Nah. What about you, G? What's been your highlight of the last few days, mate? Or is it not?
Not much, mate, really.
Yeah.
What do you mean on YouTube? Or
You're right, though, mate. You know, when you said, like, you need a break, and I said to you last week, did you turn your phone off for 2 days? Like, being like, thinking 2 days was a long time, but you know, when you do them 2 days, you don't miss it, mate, do you?
no, you don't.
I didn't miss it. Like, I'll be honest. I thought I would, but I didn't.
It's just nice to chill your head out for a bit, man. You know, end of the day, you're away, aren't you, man? You don't want fucking drama and shit like that, and you're there to relax, man, not to fucking
man.
Go on YouTube. I was Scarbardos anyway.
You what, bro?
I was Scarbardos.
Scarbardos, mate. You know what? When we got there, 3 stops because the dog was sick in the back of the car 3 times.
Oh, fuck's sake!
So that was that. I think we got about 15 miles, and the dog threw all the dinner up. So Louise was like, we had to stop in some random road. I must have thought, what's going on here? You know, it was quite a posh road, and all these big houses, and we were out cleaning dog sick off the back of the car. You know what I mean? I was stood having a fag. We must have looked like the fucking Clampets or something. You know I mean?
Why don't you just give her some travel sickness tablets? You can actually give dogs travel sickness tablets, man.
I know.
Oh, Valium. Just give it Valium and it'll fall a kip from start to end.
Fucking hell.
If we had Valium, mate, I'd be having them knock the dog. I see we can't get hold of them. But
who was driving? Who was driving?
Louise was driving, of course.
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
I mean,
Louise is driving.
Doesn't make it any better, you know what I mean?
Moon, you're like me, aren't you? But you're like me. You would rather be driven like, and shouldn't. I take it she's not a typical woman driver, like my lass. Because
it's like being in a Formula 1 car, mate.
Them speed bumps, they don't fucking stop for them, do they, mate? And it's like because they've got a hold of the steering wheel, right, and braced in the seat. It's like, I mean, that sorry for them, but fuck me, honestly, mate. She's a good driver. She is really, but I mean. You have to keep reminding her that I'm fucking human, right? I can bounce around. You've got a hold of that steering wheel, right? So I blame the women. Blame the women drivers.
So you have to keep reminding them that you have to put your foot on the clutch when you change your gear. That's what it is.
Or take it out of third gear. Like you're on a motorway doing 60, you should be out of third gear.
It's like I've said this before, right? You know, you've seen an advert and it says we're in the auto trade, and it'll say one lady owner, as if that's a good thing. It's a bad thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? They're still
like getting a boy racer car, mate. That's like buying something with go faster stripes down, a spoiler on the back, right? Alloy wheels and whatnot. It might have been polished up, right? But that engine is gonna be. I mean, the turbo's gone on that one,
man. Straight away, the gearbox.
Yeah. When did you sell that car, Moon? One lady owner.
I wouldn't even write that in. Like I said, that's not a good thing to write anymore, is it? Back in the day,
one owner.
But anyway, getting back to the story, right? So we get there, and we put the weather on, and did you hear about this? The weather down like Torquay and all down the west, it was all these 50, 60 mile an hour winds, wasn't it? Well, we got we got the end of that. I think we got one afternoon where it was sunny, and the night we got there, we were out with the t-shirts on. But the last night and the day the following morning, it was freezing. You know, like
did you Did you step foot in fucking Lord Nelson?
Is that one of the pubs down there?
What one at pubs on front? It's a fucking dive and a half, man. It's a proper dive.
that sounds
Yeah,
like
I mean,
all I'd like that, like,
I'll give
like,
Scarborough one thing, right? They're very dog friendly. Like the hotel, there's dogs everywhere. You're allowed dogs in. I was a bit surprised because it was one of the biggest hotels there. But there's not many where they let you take dogs, is there?
which hotel do you stay in? Do you stay in Royal?
There was
Is
the
it Royal?
Grand, you know, the Grand.
Oh, Grand. Yeah, fucking hell. And it
what
was
about
all right.
feral children, no? Do they take feral children?
No, I don't. Well, there was more dogs than kids, honestly, mate. Fucking dogs everywhere, man.
Just
But you're
take
allowed
the
to
I
take
talked
kids
about
in all the
ladies
shops.
like that, man.
All the shops in Scarborough, right? I kid you not, say you're allowed to take your dog in, which is just weird. I don't know what it is about the place, I with dogs, but it's very dog friendly. But I don't know why. I don't know why. We could have done with taking a cage because she's always slept in a cage since she was born. You know, since we got her.
Mm.
She only sleeps in it. You know what I mean? And she's quite happy with that because that's all she's known. This was the first time she hadn't slept in a cage, so she went a bit nuts on the night. But overall, she was brilliant. Like,
Cool. She didn't lick your
brilliant,
feet out.
oh no, not my feet. She likes to lick my head. She licks my head. Honestly, she'll lick my head all night if I let her. A bit like Louise, she likes to lick my feet and my head.
Right now, I don't want that fucking vision in my head, right, Moon? Right, just
Well, there's a
stop that
video,
now.
there's a short out there, Chris, on the channel with the dog
I'm
licking
not.
my feet, Big G favourite.
Guarantee you're not getting a view on that from me, right, mate? Seriously.
Oh, it was funny as hell, Chris. You want to watch it, man? The dog's drooling like fuck, like loving it, licking feet. It's proper
I didn't
weird
think there
video.
was anything wrong with it till Big G said, "Oh, it's a little bit weird that, like, you know." And I was like, "It is a little
I'll be
bit."
totally
Like,
honest with you, mate. That's very tame for what I could. I'm trying to sound civil, yeah, but licking the feet, yeah.
well, let's face it, you're not going to get your
Stop me.
feet
That's
licked
where it
by
stopped.
anything other than a dog, are you?
No.
I knew that one would wake Louise up.
Oh, she's straight on there, isn't she? I was going to say, where is Mrs. Mill?
She ghosted.
was on
She
last
ghosted me now. That's how bad it is. She's ghosted me now. She, as well as other channels.
What do you mean ghosting you? She's always got her eye on you, regardless. Because you're on YouTube, that just makes it so much fucking easier. You crazy, Moon. You could be sat without your phone in the middle of the woods, and she would know. Like, it's just a woman's instinct, kid, right? Different kid yourself. She's doing multiple other things while ghosting your channel, you know, or watching you. She can hear you,
watching
man.
Expo probably. She's probably watching Expo. She'll be in this chat.
Yeah, I
Yeah, what was it going to say there?
I can tell you what's happening on honesty. They've got people getting lined up, right, ready for the firing, and that Lion King is the next one on their list. Like, he tells fibs like a 5-year-old kid. Him.
Oh, he's fucking Rajin head, that lad.
I see the comments say off Expo saying he's the new CEO of Expo's channel. That's a bit of a rise, isn't it? Mighty rise.
Lion King. Well, did you see how the last CEO ended? They get anyone safe. That kind of might have been planned, but Lion King, build him up, get him to the place where, and then just drop him as heavy as they can. Come on, let's face it. Really, like, would you listen or trust or put as a CEO? No, it's to give him the big licks and I'm out. Yeah, mark me words, he's getting slaughtered soon. Him.
It's a mighty rise up the ranks from what I've seen for the Lion King, like, or the Lion Queen, as Slim Reaper's called him there.
Or the Lion Cunt.
Because
that's how he is, a
Queen,
proper Lion Cunt. He tells nothing but porky fucking pies. It's like, really, you know, when you went to school as a kid and you were going, oh yeah, I went and done that, but you just would lie for you, and everyone would just lie with you because you were in. That's exactly what he's like. He is. He's.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
See, but
like Phil, you've been told by Phil there. Like, you know what this live was set up for, Chris? It was about a bloody documentary of a murder, and it all went tits up at the start, didn't it? I've already deleted one live because I bloody messed up, didn't I, at the start? So I had to
What?
delete it.
did you get YouTube place on you again?
No, it was the old silly mistake, mate. The old silly mistake. What it was, I showed that photo, yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah,
Sure,
no, I hadn't seen it, mate. But you basically you're nearly enough dox yourself again, aren't you?
Yeah, it was my
You
driving
so why is the
license.
thumbnail? Why is the thumbnail you and Mrs. Moon? You wedding like that's got that doesn't.
Have you
I
heard
thought it
this,
was an
Louise?
anniversary, me, if anything.
Louise, have you heard this? What Chris was saying here, saying that's me and you on that thumbnail.
Whatever now with her. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
What photo's this?
On the thumbnail for this thing.
Have a look at the thumbnail, mate. Seriously, and like that's you just.
So it was supposed to be.
You'll get me, Baba. You want you're good.
Hang on, let's have a look. It was supposed to be about a murder documentary of a lass who got murdered. Billingham, just up the road, 1989. It was 1989. It was a true crime thing, you know, one of these ITV real crime things, G.
Yeah.
Because I'm big on them, but this one was like it was one of the worst ones. Like it happened just around the corner from us, so I've seen it. I haven't seen it for a long time, but the case led to a change in the law, you know, double jeopardy law.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, aye. That's it.
Because that needed changing, didn't it? That.
Yeah, you can be tried again, can't you, for the same crime or something like that.
So this fella, he's admitted that he killed her after he'd got found not guilty, or I'm not sure. I think she was not guilty anyway, or they couldn't decide. So he could walk out of court and tell everyone that he did do it, and they couldn't try him again.
Didn't he write a book? Did he write a book?
I don't know if he did, but the girl's mother, she spent the rest of her life like trying to change the law, you know, going to Parliament and all that.
When he got out, did he try and benefit, like profit from? I'm sure he don't. If honestly, mate, because I'm no good with fucking like literal names and whatnot, but I remember that because he done the time got out.
He was a right one, like he was a proper one. Honestly, like you know, if you haven't seen it, just watch it. It's called Justice for Julie. Just put that in, Justice for Julie, and watch that 45-minute document. It's unbelievable. What the police, how the inadequacies of like Cleveland police was unbelievable. The search, the house, she went missing basically. The mum knew something had bad happened because. You know yourself, don't you? You know what your daughter or whatever. If you had a daughter, every day she rang you 5 times, and then for one day she didn't ring you she didn't ring you at all. You'd know there's something wrong, don't you?
Of course.
So this is what happened in this case, but the police weren't really taking it serious. But the mother was like, "Oh no, there's something wrong." Made the search the house, right, from top to bottom, forensics and all that, right. Didn't find a thing. Then the house was left for 2 or 3 months while they investigated it. The mother had to go around the house for something, right? It hadn't been touched for 3 months, the house. She went in, opened the door, smelled this smell. Bearing in mind, the police and the forensics had searched the whole house 3 months before, right? The body was under the bath. It was under the bath. All she had to do was move the bath panel, and there was the body, right? Like the police missed it.
Now, when anyone searched that, we both know. Let's face it, the police are still inadequate to this day, mate. Where it suits them, they'll thoroughly do what they need to. But other than that, mate, they're corrupt. That was just a case of like, let's not and say we have. You know, let's
You know
not
what's
say
bad
what.
though? Like Cleveland police are it's a fact they are probably the worst statistically. I think they are the worst force in England, right? But then you go up the road to Durham and they're the best force.
Yeah,
Like you know what I mean?
Durham do have a good police force. Like, they joined up now? I think they joined up, Durham and Cleveland.
You know what? That's a good thing for us, but I mean, it must have been devastated at Durham and get us under the wing. You know what I mean? But we've had the last three chief constables have all been bent. They've all been suspended. Like they wouldn't tell you what they've done, but they've all been suspended. You know what I mean? Can you remember anyone called Ray Mallon? You remember him, I think, Chris.
Who?
Ray Mallon.
Moon, I'll be honest with you, but I'm better with faces than the. I just honestly.
Ray Mallon years ago, right? He was called RoboCop. They called him or something, right? He'd been in New York and he'd learned how the Americans. He'd been to some suburb in New York and he'd been in the police force. And he'd come back to England. He'd ended up in Middlesbrough and working for Cleveland Police. And he took over and he got the top job, right? And the crime went down by half in about a year, right? And he was like hailed as this super cop, you know what I mean? Like Ray Mallon, all this. People in Middlesbrough loved him, right? But he got suspended. They suspended him because they said he was doing dodgy stuff. But the people in Middlesbrough weren't bothered because the crime had gone down by half. So anyway, he got sacked. But then they elected him as mayor. And he was the mayor of Middlesbrough for about 4 or 5 years. That's how much the people liked him. And but he was doing dodgy things, you know. But the crime was coming down. But I mean, what do you do?
When you mean dodgy things, like Moon, let's be honest. You know, there's dodgy things, and then there's things that. The crime came down for the reason, didn't it? Because obviously working hand in hand with people that are involved in the crime, it's like, look at you know, how can you say this? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. But if you're a little tinker, if you're a proper tinker, you are getting us. So it's like the way he was working, and I'm not gonna say it was the right way, but my life, it's the way I would prefer my area to be policed, you know. Everyone, you've got all these fuckers using their powers and their badges just to. If you're not recording them, mate, right? Some of the stuff I've saw just on YouTube and heard of, it's ridiculous, but it is, and that they need held accountable for it. So, you know, you're never going to stop crime altogether.
I know for a fact, right, the amount of police officers there is on a daily basis, like police in Middlesbrough, right, and you wouldn't believe it, it's about on a shift, because I know somebody who works at the police, and there's something like 12 police officers on a shift in Middlesbrough to police the whole of Middlesbrough.
And there you go, right? So listen, if you were one of them 12 police officers, Moon, let's face it, right? Just for example, take it from a perspective that I could relate to. If I'm on the job and my gaffer has only stuck like say 10 or 12 of on there, but realistically that job is massive and it needs a lot more bodies. We're just gonna do as little as possible and only do something as and when needed. And that's exactly the same as these busies, mate. That they're not wanting to police, they're just wanting a paycheck. They want to do as little as possible, and you're not getting. You're getting.
So what's the big difference with Durham, though? How come Durham so good then? Well, what's the difference?
But Durham, look at Durham for starters, right? That's a beautiful city, right? Got so much history involved in it still, right? It's like an untouched piece of history, but it's like the London for the northeast, like Durham. It's where everything like stems from, and obviously that's a massive city anyway. It's not gonna. It needs to pride itself on its police force, mate.
Yeah, it's not just Durham, it's got to look after, though. It's got to look after Bishop fucking Auckland, hasn't it? Bishop Auckland's a right shit.
It's a big place, Durham. It's a big place. Like, you look how far it stretches, you know, like where the Durham Constabulary. Where UG, what constabulary looked after UG in York?
Ours are fucking absolute wankers. I tell you, the chief superintendent, he is an absolutely, he is a fucking tosser. He's been all over YouTube before. Um,
Oh,
he's up,
Yorkshire's had their
Is
life,
this
hasn't he?
North Yorkshire? Is it North
yeah, no,
Yorkshire or?
yeah, North Yorkshire Police. I got into bother ages ago. Well, not say ages ago, about a couple of years ago with coppers. And I actually ended up getting pulled by Durham Police. They were fine and dandy with me. In North Yorkshire Police. They just wouldn't play ball at all with Durham. At all. And yeah, like I say, if I was if I was in the same situation, if I was in York and got that, I said this to a copper actually. I goes, them coppers would have jumped all over me and kicked the living fuck out of me. I goes, I'm glad you lads have actually pulled me up and not North Yorkshire because, like I said, they would have.
Yorkshire's got a name for that cell like at the minute, but again, no audit in Yorkshire. He's there are proper twats like, but it's like, I mean, look at the northeast, mate. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really see many videos about people from the northeast. Now the policies one of it. It's all mainly from down that way. Now south, and like York, honestly, it's like fucking or island. But we all know how corrupt our is.
If you're a copper though, Chris or Big, if you were a copper, right, and you were chasing a burglar just broke into someone's house, and you were chasing them right across a field, and you caught them, is there anything wrong? And they would try to have a go. Is there anything wrong with giving a few jabs or putting your knee in the back of their head? Should, because they put a complaint in, and you get done. They have to investigate it, don't they?
Right. If you're chasing him and you're coming from a burglary, right? There's that. To me, it's like I'm being honest with you. You know, for example, it's say Christmas time and that cunt's burgled some fucker's house, right, and try to take their Christmas presents and whatnot, and ran away. And I'm like, be lucky that it's me catching you, mate. If I'm a busy, because if it was the father of the kids, and that was, and if I'm the father of them kids, and I catch him, I'm putting more than a knee in his back, right? Seriously. So it's like, that's, in my eyes, that's condoled. It's when you've done nothing wrong and the police bend and twist their powers.
Yeah.
And be able to use that force. But other than that, mate, no, I'm totally back. They're like need to use reasonable force or whatnot, but in the right circumstances, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's certain times that I if I was in bother, like Chris said, if you're gonna rob someone or like rob an old lady, I would expect a fucking jab or a kicking, fucking bollocks. You know, I would expect a kicking, because you're gonna get a kicking anyway. But it's like when you're walking down the street and like, you get pulled up, or can I search you? What for?
Yeah.
You know, and then you say no, and then it's just like, and then they start being dicks and put fucking cuffs on you for fucking, super tight and start bending your arms backwards.
And it's just like, rules now? What's the rules with like, the the interceptors and that, right? Do they have to have a reason to pull you over now? Do they have to have some reason, or can they just like pull you over? The copper's instinct, isn't it? Copper's nose or whatever. Do you have to have a light out or something for them to pull you over or not now?
Yeah, they have to find some sort of misdemeanor and they'll claim Road Traffic Act and whatnot. But you have every right, like when you get read your rights, to remain silent all the way through.
So like basically, Moon. Obviously, I don't think me or G's an audit or whatever has a proper understanding of the to quote stuff. But I know if a traffic police is pulling you over, and there isn't a reason for the stop, before you give any ID, he needs to give you a lawful reason for that stop. For example, if he's run your plates and it's come back as uninsured or such and such, whatever, that there needs to be told to you. And again, it's like, if you've got a light out, but if he pulls you over because you done something like you didn't, and he's making it up, it's then down to you to stand your ground. And 9 times out of 10, some people like crumble under the pressure, and it's one of them ones, mate. That's where they use their power. But
because you want to be horrible to them, don't you? But you know for a fact that the more horrible you are, the more cheeky, you're just going to make it worse. But it does your head in, though, doesn't it? Like, because you can't say anything to them. Like, we've all seen police interceptors, haven't we? We've seen how they go on. And that. I know they're in front of a camera, but that copper could make or break you, can't he? In the situation, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you need to record. Like for example, straight away when they stop you, it's like if you're not, start your phone up. But again, that there, it's like they're allowed to record you. So as long as you're recording them and you've got like evidence for it, I mean, honestly, but I'm lucky that I've never been in a bother with the business for years and years, and I still keep out of trouble now. But honestly, mate, I would love just, like for no reason to be pulled over, and it's like you think, you bastards. But then again, I think, Moon, I'd not give myself nicked, mate. I wouldn't be able to bite my tongue in these fuckers' teeth. So you just spar wider than me,
But is that because of something that happened in the past, or just because you just got a dislike to the police? You know what I mean? We need them, don't we? I
didn't trust them at all, mate. So for me,
at any level. At any level,
no, not on any level. It's not that. It's the it's not how you say something. It's not what you say. It's how you say something, and you can get a lot out of people by treating them with respect. But as soon as I get that, the vibe you get once they pull you over, they demand this, and it's like, for me, if that is the case, then I'm gonna be a proper twat, and that's. But other than that, if I'm getting stopped for a genuine reason, you abide by it, blah blah. But as soon as you be a cunt, that's it. I'll be in the back of the van if I've got to be, and it's just because I've done nothing wrong at all. I know at the end of it, like, it's them that'll be wasting their time. But I just avoid. I kind of die.
You've never been tasered, have you? Used to?
No, I haven't been tasered. And coppers hate this. When you challenge them, you just turn around someone and go, "You're a fucking civil servant, pal. You work for me."
But that gets the backup straight away, though. You're under the cosh. You want to say all them things to them, don't you? But you hear it all the time on police interceptors, the cheeky ones, but it never ends good for them, does it?
So, Moon, let's put in a situation, yeah. If you're walking down the street, right, coming back from the bar, right, you're a little bit tipsy, it's about 11:30 at night, and it's a fucking quiet road, and then the police just pull up alongside you, and yeah, right there, fella, where you off to? You tell them, and then they're gonna so they get out the car and gonna, "Can I see some ID?" What do you do then?
What, when you haven't been doing anything?
Obviously you've come from the bar, you know what I mean? They've just stopped alongside you, blah blah. Go, "Can I see some ID? Can I have your details? ID, or they want your name and date of birth and stuff and address."
If you've had a few drinks in you, you're gonna give them a bit of slaver, aren't you? Like, but if you know, I think if you know you haven't done anything wrong, then you've got no worry about, have you? But what about having a piss down an alley and a copper sees you? Like, what do you think should happen there?
They've got you. They'll if they want to, they'll like, now that there's basically, if you get caught as well, Banter rights of them, just to try and be a good boy and get off with a little slap on the wrist, because otherwise you try and be a twat, then that's the
We've all had a piss down an alley, haven't we, when we're drunk? Gee.
Oh yeah.
But if you get but it's not nice, is it? When you see it when you're not drunk, I've seen it. I see it all the time, and you think, "Oh, mate, there's a fucking pub there." And if I was 6'6" and 18 stone, I'd be going getting hold of him while he's having a piss. I tell you, because it's not nice, is it? Really?
Just push them, Moon. While they're pissing, just push them.
Get hold of them.
No, just push them and
push them into the wrong piss. Yeah, so they piss themselves.
Just piss all over the
place. It's like a £60 fine or something, isn't it, for having a piss in an alley nowadays? Oh, It's the drunken thing. Like you just say to a grown man, "Would you do that if you weren't pissed?" And you would never do it if you weren't pissed. Like at the side of a road on a motorway, maybe. But you can even get done for that now.
Aye, but
You're
it's like,
joking. You're taking piss.
So
Honestly,
but
Phil
if
Graham does it all the time
if you're on a long
with his
journey and the bear needs to piss,
incontinence.
the bear needs to
bro.
piss. You get out.
Yeah.
You've got to stop. That's like that's so.
But there's a one for you. A kid needs a piss. Is it the same thing? You're not going to do a kid, are you? A bloke needs a piss just the same as a kid. If you need a piss, you're not going to pull over if you're not desperate, are you?
Aye, but this is what I'm saying. If you're having a piss on the side of a motorway, Moon, and you get stopped off a bit for that, and that's them being a proper cunt. It's not like you're in the town centre, you've got your car and you thought, I need a piss and pissed up against a lamppost. It's like, have you seen how many people stop at them? There's how many bags of dog shit now that's lying around them laybys and whatever. When people look at dog, it's just. But if they're going to stop and be funny and picky with you, then that's when you go, look, we bite your tongue. But if you're pissed walking home, you're right. You are going to bite, right? And that's what they want. They want you to go lair you and whatnot, so they can just wrap you up in fucking cuffs, stick you in the back of the car and claim Section 5 and whatever.
Exactly.
So you're just better off now at my age, for example. Just, yes, sir, please, sir, 3 bags full, sir. Until you are literally getting bulled in the car, the van, and there's nothing else you can do, then you become a cunt. But until then, you just bite your tongue.
I just usually no comment, everything. No comment. Any interaction with them, no comment.
Yeah. I know, but gee, I watch a lot of these like crime things and that, like police interceptors. Yeah, I understand them. There's some good ones in the northeast. You know what I mean? I've seen all of the episodes and that. But when you get one like something serious like a murder or a kidnapping, it shows you the interviews with them. As soon as you say no comment, you're guilty, aren't you? You've done something wrong, because if you haven't done anything wrong,
you're stopping yourself for incriminating yourself.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do say may be used will be used against you in a court of law. Right? Again, it's like you saying nothing. It's down to them. It's on them to prove you guilty. So you are innocent until proven guilty. That is the law, right? So anything you do say will be used against you, and that's what they want you to do, to speak, right? But if you use your right to remain silent, regardless of whatever, they have to provide the evidence, mate. That's why they want you to speak, because it gives them something that they may be able to use. So, no, keep stum.
You're not going to do the job for them, are they?
I can understand in a murder case and that or whatever, like saying no comment. But if you've done no wrong, then you're not going to incriminate yourself because you've done nothing wrong.
I remember getting pulled over before, and I just said to him, "No comment." And I passed him my driving license and whatnot. I goes, literally, I'll no comment all the way. I'll remain silent, but here's my driving license. He thought I was being a dick, and then he was like, "I can smell alcohol on your breath, or I can smell weed in your car." And I was just like, "Oh well, good on, mate." I go, "Well, breathalyze me then." You're just wasting your own time. I don't smoke. I ain't drunk tonight. I goes, I don't smoke weed. So, crack on. Fill your boots.
Say, Moon, do you know what it is? But like innocent people have been sent to jail for stuff they haven't done, right? Because under pressure and whatnot, and under scrutinizing interviewing techniques, right? And there was one by a psychologist done years and years ago, that he got an innocent person to like admit guilt of his wife's murder, right? And they use that technique still to this day, right? And it's like I'm the expert, right? But when they give you a written statement and they ask you to sign it,
yeah.
Right now, they'll they'll do a whole process, right? And there's so many steps, right? I don't know them all, right? But whatever, they'll give you two statements at the end, and both of them basically are you admitting to guilt, but one is lesser than the other. And by then, they've already made you feel, because it's such a heinous crime, like, say, for example, murder, you know, you're already that emotional and whatnot. They've done their job. And as long as you sign that, boom, they've got a confession off you. There's people doing time in jail and have done for stuff they haven't done because of that mental health state and such like that. So I advise anyone if they've done fuck all wrong in a serious incident just to say no comment, because you can incriminate yourself without even knowing it, even
So
if
do
you're
you
not
think
guilty.
in this day and age, right, can somebody still go to prison for a murder that they haven't done?
Yeah.
Aye,
Do you reckon?
Oh yeah, with
definitely.
DNA and everything. All I have to do is, let's say I got some of your DNA and fucking planted it on something. No
But it's not
conversation for
only
you,
that.
mate, not me.
Look at this, for
Years
example.
ago, yeah, no, years ago, yeah, I think it happened. But I'd be surprised now if anyone got done for
Nah,
a
no,
murder
no.
that they hadn't done.
Right. So you're basically saying that because of the technology and stuff like that that we have, right? It would be, yes, it should be like unheard of that people could go to jail for something they haven't done. But the fact of the matter is, mate, right, because the system is fucking corrupt, right? So if you've got someone with mental health problems or a drug addict, right, in your station, okay, and you like let them rattle or put them in a predicament, they're gonna do anything, say anything by a certain time, right? Especially coupled together with techniques and tactics that these interviewers have been fucking trained to do, mate, by the way. This is stuff that they are trained to do. And that is only an individual, right? That person across the room from you, the desk, is trying to do a job, right? Whether they're corrupt or not, do they have your best interest at heart, or are they just wanting to go, right, boom, I solved this, boom, any ways possible? It's all about the situations, mate. So
Right.
I couldn't say that if Polish wouldn't look and want to manipulate someone because they would go, he's a drug addict, he needs to be off the street anyway, or blah blah. And if I can pin this on him, so be it. And that person is that vulnerable, they can let herself, you know.
Right. So what about, right? I watched the show recently, right? About, it was a series, it was a drama, it wasn't real, but it was about a jury service, right? Has anyone done jury service?
No, I've never been. It proper knocks me off as well. I
Would
don't
you
know
like
why.
to?
I would love to do jury service, but I've never
Would
been
you,
asked.
Chris?
I wouldn't
Would
be
you
asked.
like to be on a jury for a murder case, Chris? Would you like that?
I wouldn't be asked. But can I be totally honest with you? But and no, I wouldn't like to do jury service for anything, right? Because I have a very like, I'm not going to be led by other people, so I could have a biased opinion that, like, you know. But no, mate, no, I wouldn't like
But
to
if
do
you
it.
get called up, Chris, you have to do it, don't you?
Yeah, you have to, unless
No,
there's
I wouldn't
special
have to.
circumstances.
I wouldn't have to.
How would you get out of
Chris
that?
has got a record then, so he doesn't have to worry. He will never get called up.
So why would you, G? Why would you? Just to see what it's like, just to, because like you're nosy, or because you want to see how it all works, or because you don't. I mean, you have to take it seriously, don't you?
Oh yeah,
It's
you have to take it
somebody's
seriously, man.
life, isn't it?
You could get
So you
pulled
just got to
into
do
any type of
it.
crime, couldn't you? You know, could be a fucking murder, could be, you know,
Oh,
any heinous
I'd
crime.
absolutely love it. I would absolutely love to be on a murder case in the jury.
Mm.
Because I would be a good part of it, but just to see how it all works and that, you see, until you've been in there, I mean, you're not allowed to talk anywhere, are you, about it? But
No,
surely you're going to go home and talk to your wife about it, aren't you? Surely.
No. I think that wouldn't be a problem. That couldn't, they didn't do that. But again, you know, when I'm there, for example, imagine if it was a paedophile or something that was up on trial. I'd be like, hang the bastard, fucking hang him. Like, I wouldn't be able to bite me to the professionalism. You wouldn't get that from me. I would be like, look, what you're saying he's not guilty. Are you fucking tapped as well? He's blatant. So I'll be arguing with the jury if they. That's one. Honestly, mate, no, I couldn't.
But there is rules about it, isn't there? What do you know about it then, G? What do you know anything about the jury service or what they do or how they select you or anything?
I think they just pick you out of a random polling list, basically. And it's just, they just pick you at random. It's not like America where you get, a group of people and then the solicitor's allowed to fucking pick which ones based on your actual fucking profile and whatnot. It's literally just a random selection from the polling list.
So Cheeky Sprite saying she got called and declared that she had depression and she refused to do it.
Yeah, well, that's like special circumstances.
Mm.
You only get like medical exemptions and whatnot. If you said,
he's Phil putting his twist on it.
What's Phil?
Imagine looking at you on trial. Imagine looking up at the jurors and you see Pierre Moon looking back at you.
I'd be fucked, me. I'm done with this. Moon's in the jury. I'm guilty.
But it is down to the jury. At the end of the day, you give all the evidence you want. It's down to these 12 people who you don't know, isn't it?
Who's Dennis?
Where's Dennis? Is he back? Where is he?
Isn't back, chap?
Oh, it's my mate, isn't it? Yes, Dennis. Sorry, mate.
You got him working. Is that the guy you work with?
Yeah, man.
Big up Dennis, lad.
He was on here. He was on with Chris. How are we doing, Den?
I'm all right.
He can't get in the chat, lads. He still can't get in the chat.
Hello, Den. Sorry, mate. Is he got you grafting and he's doing fuck all?
The cunt's on holiday, isn't he?
I've been.
Well, tell the truth, Dennis. Does Moon skive a lot at work?
No, he's a good grafter, like.
He's a good grafter, is he?
we skive when we can, don't we, mate? We make the best out of it, man. It's 12 hours, a long time, 12 hours, isn't it, Dennis?
Yeah.
But you only do fucking 3 of them a week.
I know, but that's enough, mate. It's half a day, right, man. By the time you drove there.
3 12-hour shifts. You've got 4 days off, right? Try doing 7 8-hour shifts.
I'll tell you what, right? You go on night shift, right? And you work like 7 till 7, and you've only got 2.5 days off till you get back because you spend a half a day in bed. You know what I mean? It's shit.
Yeah, they're horrible.
It does fuck your body clock.
Like shit for 2 days. You just get yourself back to normal, and you're up again at fucking 5:30 to go back to work. You know what I mean? It's shit. Like.
Yeah, I remember my years ago, lads. Like literally years ago, just a couple of years out of the credit crunch, right? I just come up with time. I was doing night shift at Tesco's, right? And it was our Christmas time. And it was over Christmas time. So when I started work, it was dark. When I finished work, it was dark, right? And when I got home, I fell asleep and I never saw the light of day for 3 months. I loved it, mate.
Did you?
Fucking right, did I?
Vampire fucking syndrome, like.
It's all right if you're doing permanent nights, but if you're doing like 3 on, 3 off, like we do, nights and days, it just fucks you up, man. Just totally.
There's
really
better shifts, isn't there, Dennis? There's better shifts, isn't there, than that?
Oh, of course there is, mate. Of course there is. The 4 on 4 off's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 on 4 off. It sounds bad, right? But instead of doing 3 7 till 7 day shifts, you do 2 day shifts. Then you have like that day off in the middle, sort of.
You get a lie in, don't you?
Yeah, then you do 2 nights, right? But then you get like 4 full days off.
Yeah, spot on that.
It's better than what we do now, but we're stuck with these 3 on 3 off, and they're just pissing me off now.
Yeah, absolutely shit.
So fucking celebrate the Moon. Get on the fucking union. Come on, will you? Oh yeah.
Oh, we have got a union, have we, Dennis? I don't think. Fucking hell, we wouldn't dare.
No, we haven't. No, mate. We tried, but nobody would fucking join, would they?
Me and Big G have got a union already going, right? It's called Anyone Can Join, right? And honestly, we'll back your corner for you. Honestly, we will.
So, Chris, being a brickie, have the brickies got a union or anything who looks after them?
me trowel looks after me.
Can you remember, right? Can you remember, Chris? Now, this is a good one, right? Me and Chris had this conversation a few months ago, right, for about 2 hours. Chris used to have a window cleaning round, didn't he, mate?
Did I? And I fucking loved it, mate.
Right.
Oh,
So
I used to
said
love window
Chris,
cleaning. That was my first job.
well, I said to Chris, right, G, Chris was on about this big round he had and everything, right? And you know what? All they have is a bit of little book, don't they? And they say, "Oh, he owes me for this week, and he owes me for that week," and that's it. It goes in the back pocket. So I said, "What's to stop somebody else just coming and nicking your round?" And like, how does it work when you go for a mortgage or a window cleaner? So how do you like prove your income and stuff? Like, it's not. There's no law governing it. Is there anything? There's no contract.
I never cleaned 55 grams worth of windows in that year, mate. Only things that's transactionable is the ones where they give you an invoice or the shops and whatnot. Again, Moon, I'm not telling anyone about it, but it's up to you. Like taxi drivers, everyone that deals in cash, right? It's up to you to declare what you do. But if you do take the piss, they'll have you. But other than that, mate, it's like to stop other people coming taking your work from you because there's no contract, you know, like an electricity company. Basically, you rely on yourself. Like, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, it's loyalty, isn't it? It's loyalty. This is what we said. You build a rapport with all these people who you've been cleaning windows for years. But you just hoping that, I mean, if some big cunt comes round and starts saying, "I'll do it for a quid cheaper," what can you do about it?
Well, you do exactly what you can do with it, Moon, and I'll joke and say, where if it's me fighting for a parking space or something, and it's not worth it, but me fighting for my livelihood, but it takes some big cunt to scare us off, like, do you know what I mean?
But you know what I mean? If you went for a mortgage and they said, "What do you do?" "Oh, a window cleaner." How does that like?
It's very difficult. You have to declare as much as possible.
Do you know where I'm coming from, Dennis, at Big G? Do you know where
I do, mate. Yes, I.
Yeah. One of them jobs. It must be one of the only jobs where, like, there is no contract in it. Where I'm not going to sign a contract with my window cleaner. I might say, "You're cleaning my windows for the next 5 years."
But your residential work, mate, he may have a lot of commercial work, right? Which basically allows him, you know, that'll be on the book straight away. And then, for example, if he wants to have get a mortgage and he's only got 5 grand's worth of commercial work a year, and the bank see that or whatever, mortgage company say they're going, "Well, you didn't earn a lot, do you?" But if he's declaring and paying tax on an amount, what he's, you know, if he's got 55 grand's worth of residential work and he starts declaring that, then but you do get lads that declare everything, mate. You do. And again, it's up to them. But you're a taxi driver. When you get in and pay him cash, do you know he doesn't have to declare that?
That's what I mean. Like, it's one of them, innit? Like, taxi drivers. So do you think taxi drivers are all at the fiddle?
Well, yeah.
Oh, some of them are definitely taking backhanders, man.
Because they've all got big houses, haven't they? You never see a skin taxi driver, do you?
Yeah, it's because they've probably already got a mortgage already from declaring all the stuff. As soon as they've got a mortgage, then the bank just taking cash in hand.
If you got 50 grand in cash 1 year, Moon, right, and if you want to declare that out of the inland revenue, bear this in mind, only you knows that, right? Would you declare all of it, or would you declare like just some of it and whatnot? Like, it depends how your brain works. Like, for me, mate, I'll be honest with you, I'm not giving the government fuck all if I can help it. As simple as I'm gonna take from the bank.
Everyone's like that. I think everyone's like that. So, Big G, you're in the process, right? You were going to be getting a mortgage soon, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I'm trying for a mortgage. You know, at the moment, I'm just waiting for some inheritance money to come through, and then I'll be up for getting a mortgage.
It's all about your deposit now, isn't it? The amount of deposit you can put down in it. Because back in the day, when I bought a house, right, you could get 110% mortgage. They would throw money at you, but you can't get that now. It's getting a bit better, though, isn't it?
Oh, you'll never see anything. You will never get 100% mortgages anymore. Not a
Really?
chance.
Never.
Never. It's too risky for the banks.
So what's the deal now? What's the best deal you can get now? Like,
Well, you have to
90%.
you have to put down either between 5 and 10% of the value of the house. So then you claim it's more like a 90% mortgage now.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, man?
See, the way
Mortgages, though.
the
Go on,
way
Chris.
forward is to buy. You know, if you can endure it, and buy a house that needs some work on it, that you can make some money on, live in it while you're doing it, and push yourself up the ladder slowly over a course of a few years. Unless you're fortunate enough to just go straight in and buy something outright, but these new build houses, what you're buying, a lot of them, mate, I wouldn't fucking hang me dogging at me. I wouldn't. I'd much rather have a bit of land and build me fucking own. It's just so much more efficient, but it's a process, the stress that people
Right.
not to go through it.
Hey, Chris, you can answer me a question that I only asked Louise this the other week, right? So, you know, these new houses that get built, right? Let's say a 4-bedroom detached house in a nice area, right? How much would it cost them to build that house in bricks and time? How much?
It depends on square footage, innit? What would you say the square footage is?
A ballpark figure.
Right, for example, I could see this house I'm standing in right now. Okay, I could pick this house up now, right, where it is now, say if it's worth 150 grand. I could pick this house up right now and move it up to Darras Hall, and it would instantly be worth at least $500,000. Okay, just because of the postcode. So the mortar, materials, and labor doesn't actually change, right? Like the cost, it's where you're building it, like the price it can command. So rule of thumb is normally every 4 houses that a house builder, like a big house builder, builds, that 4th house is normally pure profit. That's a normal rule of thumb. So this is why when you see them building in very, very well-off areas, you will only get like 3-bedroom houses, at least 3 to upwards 4 and 5. Whereas in the small down, like run-down areas, you'll get 1-bedrooms, 2s, flats, like fucking shared accommodations, bungalows, because you can get more of them in that square footage. Do you get what I mean?
Right. But what I'm on about, say you got a 100 grand house in an average area, right? The company, the new build is selling it for 100 grand. How much does it cost them to build that house? Literally.
Right.
Are we talking
in
50% profit?
In brick, you're on about basically brick, concrete, and wood, aren't you? How much it would cost to actually build that house, the skin of it?
Let's just say, regardless of whether they're building a house, right, there's got to be at least a 50% markup, right?
Right.
So you know, so if they're selling a house for 100 grand, this house is 150. I'm telling you now, mate, right? This wouldn't have cost no more than 30 grand to fucking build it, right? Is that
to put things in it as well, or like to all the plastering and everything, you get it ready?
It's not plastered, man. It's not plastered. They don't plaster houses. New build houses don't really get plastered no more because they just dry line them. Because plastering is another trade on top of, once you plasterboarded your house, you would then have someone come in and plaster it. But then it takes 3 months at least 3 months, supposedly it's meant to, for the plaster to dry out before you can put wallpaper or paint the walls. So if you're doing that as a house builder, once you've plastered the house, you've got to wait 3 months or so before you can sell it. And they don't want to wait. They want it in, out. That's why you've got people living on building sites. Like the first house is built, people live in them while they're building the rest of the fucker.
They get rushed, don't they? They get rushed, all these new houses, don't you think?
No,
they move them in before everything's ready, before everything's really done, don't they? Like
a rough estimate on bricks and joists and roof and stuff, though, Chris. Just on the skin of the house.
What I'm on about,
Yeah. What would you say? 40 grand, 50 grand for a 3-bedroom house?
Not even that. Not even that. Just the skin of a house. Just the blocks, bricks, and timber, and just to get it watertight. Windows even not, but need plasterboard on walls. Need fucking second fix, first fix joinery. Inside plumbing, electrics. Mate, the Persimmons Homes have got their own fucking brick manufacturing company now. They produce their own bricks. Like they're pennies. They're like literally pennies. If you can do
but
it,
obviously we're not Persimmon Homes, so what would it cost for like a normal?
So you're going to go and do right, G, right? For example, mate, I would be putting 30 grand to one side, right? If I wanted a decent 2-3 bedroom house, right? For bricks, blocks, and more. And I would be, that's spending it sensibly as well. But labour on, mate, that can all depend. Labour's it's a massive part of your costs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You buy 1,000 bricks, mate, you're going to pay nearly the same for them 1,000 bricks as what you're going to pay for the bloke to lay them.
What if you did it yourself, though? Literally, just on materials.
Aye, definitely 30 grand, more. I would have thought, gee, with a sensible spending for you could get it fucking right, mate. Give me 30 grand, I'll build you a fucking mansion for just do the blocks and bricks.
And what about land? How much do you pay for land these days?
Oh,
Like in a...
Wouldn't. That's ridiculous.
I have not got a clue about how much land's worth or anything.
Fucking hell, mate. That's what costs. Especially where I am, mate. Honestly, there's a piece of land. I think it's about half an acre near me. Just the land on its own, 150 grand.
And then is that with the permission to build on it, or do you have to get permission and all that?
I don't think it's even got permission. It's literally just the land.
Yeah. So you're going to look for? Do you want a new build like Big G, or do you want something? Do you want an old house or what?
I want to be on outskirts, so I don't want to be in centre of the town anymore. No, outskirts for me. But then it comes with a premium.
Yeah.
My ideal thing is actually I've always had this ambition to build my own house.
I know I remember you saying that.
Get a caravan.
The right fella, are you?
Yeah, get a caravan, put it on your plot, mate, right? You're a working man, I take it, for the week, G.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and you like getting your hands dirty, I take it?
Oh, yeah, I don't mind a bit of DIY, man. I won't say I'm no fucking bricky, but, I could probably...
Doesn't matter, mate. Listen, I'll be honest with you, bud, right? Honestly, if you put your mind to it, you can do. But if you're willing to sit and buy a old barn conversion or something like that, or a bit of ruined land, and you can fucking wait 4 or 5 years to build your dream house, mate, it'll cost you pennies compared to what it would cost, and get the lads run on a weekend, a few cans and whatnot, just to put the concrete down or fucking spread this fucking whatever, but the internal jobs, like the electric stuff like that, you get your professionals in for that shit, but other stuff, mate, relish it. I wouldn't buy a new build, honestly.
Like Phil says there, that's what always amazes me, what goes on under the ground. When they're connecting it to sewers and stuff like that, water and everything.
Yeah, that's what costs, man.
How does that work? How does that work if you're building a house in a field?
That's what fucking costs, man. Is
the electricity, your connection. So you've got to get it. Basically, if you're buying something really off beaten track and you've got any water connections and stuff, then you're gonna have to pay the water grid to come in at their cost, and there's no fucking bendy twist out like that. They'll bring it to a certain point and leave it for you and whatever, but they're the little things when you are buying land or purchasing somewhere you look for, because they can be the big costly things. If it's already got a water mains into it and it just needs renewed because it's an old fucking thing, well, that's now, man, honestly, a new manhole to divert it, fuck all. But if you haven't got a connection already, then it's just fucking pound things for them.
Yeah. I never understand what goes on under the ground with all that sewerage and all that. Like, that's just fucking a different story, isn't it?
Like if you can't get hooked up to the sewerage, this is why people are fucking what you call it, tanks, innit?
Oil tanks, sewage tanks, fucking They get pumped. Your toilet guns to a sewage fucking thing, and then that get like sucked through.
Not septic tank. It's they have a name for him, don't they?
It's a septic tank.
Is it a septic tank?
For your toilet waste, that's exactly what it is. That's the word for it. And even that there, to get that installed and whatnot, like fucking, it's, you know, that's got to be underground at a certain depth for frost and whatnot. But then you've got your oil, so your gas would be more or less oil, and that's another tank and stuff like that. And it's like, but it'd be well worth it, mate. Definitely. Don't let it put you off.
Oh, I think everyone would love to build their own house. Do you ever watch, Chris, hasn't been a brickie, right? Do you ever watch any of these, like, you know, on Channel 4, what's it called? Where they build these amazing houses and that?
Grand Designs or that George Clark dude. That really fucking annoys the fuck out of me. But...
You know, can I be honest with you? You know, years ago when I was an apprentice, the company I worked for, which was my uncle's company, RW Building Maintenance, I was actually on that, and it was in Otterburn, I think it was, or Ovington, somewhere like that. There was an art gallery thing that we were building, and we were on that. But yeah, that's the that's next level kind of self-build. That, you know, there are people with money in you know, fucking pretty, but just they'll fucking build massive mansions and stuff, mate, and fall back on the bank and whatever. Use this as a bit of fun, I would say, mate. Right, you're never gonna lose now, as long as you just fucking, you know.
Chris, what about abroad? What about being a brickie? Could you go to Spain and be a brickie and make good money?
I've done Germany.
Yeah, but Germany, is that still going then? Like I've been saying, Pet, is there still a big thing over there? Like, oh.
No, it's not all that was the 90s one, but a lot of construction over there. The kids gone to school, and when they gone to secondary school, they've already got an idea of what they want to be. So it's different of our system. So none of them really want to set out to be like a maurer or a bricklayer, for example. They all want to be like a gaffer, which is I forget the fucking name for that, but they all want to be above that. So the trades that few and far between, but Britain can always go over there because they've got a pace and a quality and make good money. But it's like they basically said in Berlin when I was there, they went, "You bastard bombed the fucker, he's built it back up," is a joke, you know, like the lads on the side. But it's not as easy as people think, and you don't speak the language and, you know, fucking navigate and run that place. But the money's brilliant. It is.
You have to be careful in Spain. You know, if you was to build an house in Spain, and let's say you built it successfully and whatnot, happy days. You know, the government can actually take that house off you. Let's say they wanted to put like a railway track where your house sits. They can just take that house, you know, and not pay you any compensation at all.
Yeah. There's law. It's the law. Like over in Spain, you've got to know the law, haven't you?
Yeah. They can literally just take it off you, and you know, even if you've like spent $500,000 or whatever, or just being hypothetical here, of building a house. Just imagine if government came up to you and went, no, we're taking your house.
Yeah. What about
because
that
we can.
We've all seen that case where that old fella, it might have been up here somewhere, Chris, where he was a really old bloke and he built something on his house and the council had said, no, you haven't got the plan permission. And when they actually came, he fought them, but when they came to knock it down, he shot one of them, didn't he?
You're joking, just fucking shot him.
Do you not remember that? Can anyone remember that? He shot him. It was a case. He got done for attempted murder. A really old bloke.
I did tell my uncle that he wasn't allowed to do that, like, but he done it anyway, like, you know what I mean?
You remember any of that, Dennis?
What's that, mate?
Do you remember where this old bloke had built something on his own land and he hadn't got the planning permission, and they came to knock it down like after a...
Oh, right, aye. Did he not kill
He fought them and he shot them. He shot one of them. He pulled a gun out and shot them. He was like about 8-year-old. He was one of these, you know, he wasn't having none of it. It was his land, and the council just,
It's fucking
it was
right,
one of
though.
them. The
It's
council
right.
went too far.
It's right. I hope he killed the button. Sorry, no, I'm winding up. I know, but he had grandpa rights, didn't he? They've come on his land, but again, I bet you was a fucking fish pond or something he'd built. Do you know what I mean? And that was what they were moaning about.
Yeah, it was a big story that back in the day, years ago, like. But yeah, man. So yeah, mortgages and that these days, it was a lot easier back in the day for me. Like, but I wouldn't like to be getting one. To be getting one now, you need a massive deposit, don't you? Basically.
It's mad now to get on the housing market. It is.
It's a fucking nightmare, mate. You know, I'm nearly fucking 40. I bought my own house yet.
House for £23,000. I'd lived in it 10 years, ex-council house. Bought for £23,000, which is absolutely nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's another thing, isn't it? The camp. Do they still do that now? Is that still a thing?
I don't know. I don't know if they do. I don't know.
The day, and you get rent reduction. Now the longer you've lived in the house for.
Yeah,
but they're already getting these people are coming in and already playing the system, aren't they? You know, and buying it and just renting it out.
Yeah. Are you heard about the new law that's coming in new? Like all these, like for example, the northeast. What's happening is all these landlords that have got rundown properties and like fucking cheap rentals that are getting like we'll pay you rent for you for 5-10 years. All repairs, blah blah. In just as long as we can put certain people in them. I'm not gonna, but like these people have got to go in them, and families are getting kicked out of houses. Caught it. Honestly, mate, it's fucking hell. It's great. The property, if the dead property is not going to be dead anymore because it's getting done up and people are getting jugged in it.
So how long do you have to be
that's
in
what you know, when I went to Scotland, I was speaking to the guy that owns like this holiday park, and it's being trialled in Scotland at the moment. Do you know that a developer or landowner or whatever you want to call them, property owner, if they are holiday homes or they are renting them out, they have to pay like an additional tax on each property, and that is £5,000 per property. So this guy had like a you know, like let's say 25 cabins in his business. He has to pay £5,000 on each one.
That's £125,000
a year additional. And what he's basically said is, I can't rent. What he's decided to do is actually just fill the cabins full with locals, rather than actually do them as holiday homes, to get around this £5,000 thing. And he said it's all to do with Edinburgh, because people can't get properties in Edinburgh. And he was on like the West Coast, and he said, I can guarantee everything gets trialled in Scotland first. So Scotland are now doing it, and it will be coming to England in the next couple of years. Can you just imagine the impact on all property developers? Because again, I know another guy that's got like 30 properties. He's a millionaire on paper, and he's just going to get absolutely hammered by this additional tax.
But you know what it's all geared up for, G? It's all geared up for, because basically they said, well, I tell you what we can do with your properties and your accommodation. We can fill them, but it's this, that, if you look into it deeper, it's happening all over. Look at all these old hotels and that, whatever, that are taken up, but we're all, anyone living in a landlord or a private property that may have a bedroom or two spare, whatever. Even if they're being there and it's fully occupied, the money they're getting offered as landlords is just, you have to have a good landlord that's like kind of hard to knock on. I'm not taking that offer.
Well, mate, it's like these massive hotels on. Let's take Hartlepool for instance, right? On the coast, just up the road. Chris, you'll know Hartlepool. Dennis, you'll know it.
Yeah.
Gee, you'll have heard of it, right? But there's loads of derelict. It's run down the front on the beach, right? But it's full of like big hotels and that, big houses. So people who own them are really struggling, right? This is like winning the lottery, isn't it? someone's coming up to you and offering you to take all these people into an empty place that you've probably been trying to sell for years and you're going bankrupt. It's like winning the lottery, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Surely you can't turn it down, can you?
Where we went wrong is back in the 90s. That what they should never have done is allow people or property developers to make a business out of owning shitloads of properties. Because now what they've done is they own too many properties, and there's no other properties for any other fucker.
Mm.
Isn't there rules in now where you find a little bit of mold and you can claim bloody 10 grand if they don't like look after the place?
You know, being the landlord, I would think is like it's not as easy as it is on paper. You know what I mean? Like you could get called up, a private one, you could get called up all times of the night, couldn't you? Say, "Oh, my boiler's broke."
Oh, but definitely, like I say, mate. This is what I'm saying. It's an offer too good to refuse, even with like you know, having morals and whatnot. It's like regardless of what it's like, there to them, it's like fuck me. I need this, and some of them may, a lot of people doing this. There's people taking advantage of this system, like with money coming in and just buying up loads of old rundown property, putting a few grand into it, getting into a standard, boom, and handing over as a business. They're the fuckers. That's it. You know, but these struggling landlords and whatnot. Again, if someone's in their property and they're happy with whatever, it's just the system's gone a different way, mate. Again, especially for people in property.
Fuck, isn't it? Fuck, basically. What's Phil
saying? Have you seen Lou's comment there, Dennis?
I've seen all of them comments there. I'll pick a few of them out. You know, Dennis, you don't wear Crocs, do you, Dennis? Because if you do, right, you're off.
No, I don't.
That's all right. Because Crocs aren't allowed in this channel, mate. It's like
the photo of the band dressed me up. Put me outside, took some photographs when I was a little bit under the weather with the drink.
Yeah, right. He's Phil getting all serious on us now. That's not the case, Big G. Demand is outweighed supply. The population is growing quicker than the houses.
Well, he should know he's a property surveyor, isn't he?
Oh, is that what he does? Is that where he gets
it done? Yeah, he does property, man. He knows his shit when it comes down to buildings and stuff.
Get him up here. To give him with a fucking proper lowdown instead of us divvies put my heaps together and making a garden shed.
Oh, he won't come up. I'll tell you, I've never seen him on one panel yet, Phil Graham.
I know, yeah, that'd be a first, wouldn't it, G?
Oh, you could do it on Moons as well. Come on, Phil. Get yourself up.
I'm sure I seen a comment of Slim, you know, not so long back, saying that he will one day, you know. That's Slim Reaper. What do you reckon about that?
Right, yeah, get him up, man.
You can't force Phil. I'll get some on Phil one day. I'll blackmail him. You know what I mean?
See, it's like bursting. It's like they're waiting to burst their virginity to the right person, and it's like. I mean, just get it out and done with. Seriously, lads. Honestly, it's so much more fun. You didn't even have to show your face. You didn't have to be a proper slut like me. You just so much more fun.
And until he does come on, he's always going to be in a shell suit with hair like Big G's there, and like, you know, he's whatever we want him to be, isn't he?
Yeah, but even though I've never seen Big G's mush like at all, right? I can hear his voice, right, and I picture one of the three Scousers off Harry Enfield, right? That's what my image in my head of him is. Right, but he speaks like fucking something off Heartbeat, you know.
You know,
you saying that sound like fucking Nick Berry?
Sounds like Banter.
I think Greengrass is your father-in-law, or your uncle, or something, or your grand, or whatever.
I'm as bald as Moon. In fact, I'm like Moon's twin, really, in real life.
Cannot be any balder than that, mate. Look at that.
Do you wear
That's just
glasses
been
as well,
cut.
G?
Yeah, I wear glasses, shave my napper.
Oh, get on. There's 12 eyes on the panel.
How's the diet going anyway, Big G? Because I remember you saying that not so long ago you bent down and split your jeans, didn't you?
Yeah, I fucking did, you twat. You had to bring that up, didn't you?
You know what I mean? When that's happening, mate, you know you got a problem. Like you're either need to get some new jeans or you need to go on a diet.
Fat bastard. Fuck.
Well, I'm doing
But when
both.
you get to
I'm back
my
in.
age, you start wearing your clothes back to front, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is fucking. I don't know what I'm more disgraced with, the size of it or that it's Nike.
Exactly.
I don't do
Put that
Nike
in
at
there.
all, man.
Right, G, don't you fucking dare diss Moon, right? Seriously. That man pulls off fucking 17-year-old clobber, right? on a 45-year-old man, right? Seriously, he's the only one that can do. I couldn't put that. It's like me trying to put my kids' clothes on, right?
I bet you wear skinny jeans, man. I bet you wear skinny jeans.
Yeah, but
You do,
don't
don't
rip
you?
them, mate. Don't rip them when I bend
I
over,
bet
though.
he's got 3/4 length pants.
So I've been asking Big G, I'm going shopping tomorrow. I said, what time does Primark open? Do you know what time it opens, Chris?
Mate, just fucking if where you going? Metro Centre, it's open from fucking 9 o'clock, right? But honestly, bud, going to Pray Morning, right? That's the best one. Pray Morning. Just take a bargain from like somewhere different, right? Into Primark, like an expensive shop. Buy your clobber and come up with it, right? And just waltz run the place like you're fucking rich. Do you know what I mean?
You know what, right? Well, we're all here. Right? Dennis, if you were going for some new slacks, yeah, where would you go, mate?
Well, it wouldn't be Primark because I hate the piece of Metro. It's too big.
One of them, we always on about it when you get to 50, Dennis, right? Which Dennis is a year older than me, aren't you, mate?
I am, mate, yeah.
It's like we had this conversation a while back, right? About trying to. It's an age where you don't want to look like a divvy, but you don't want to look like you're trying too hard with the clothes that don't suit you or whatever. It's one of them, innit?
So you're too young to be a rent boy, but too old to be you're too old to be a rent boy, but too young to be a wino. You're at that difficult age.
It's horrible, mate. It's horrible age.
Right, Moon.
Tell you.
You need to get in your fucking slippers with your dressing gowns on, right? Been shouting at kids in the street, right, for playing fucking football and stuff like that. Other than that, mate, get your Chava tracksuits on, dress the fucking way you want. If you feel comfortable in it, bud, I wouldn't be bothered what people think. Yeah, seriously, you're asking me.
To be fair,
I would wear stuff just to piss
Man
people
should
off if
not
I knew
put
it.
on
You
his
have
bar.
to.
In today's video, gentlemen, 20 things that a man should never wear.
Watch this for 5 minutes.
the worst thing is, man, he's an American.
Yeah. Well,
Number
Yeah,
one
they're
on the
the worst.
list, too much fragrance. Okay, guys, don't overdo it. Remember, you want to be discovered.
Too
Don't
squirt.
walk into a room and announce yourself. Because think about it, it gives some people migraines.
You-
Other people, they simply don't want to have to smell you all day in the office. Start off with one spray and make sure that you do yourself a favor. Find a fragrance that works for you. Number two, large logos. And we're talking those huge logos. Unless you're getting paid by the company to spread the
not
word
getting
about
paid.
their brand, why in the world would you wear that huge logo? Next up, let's talk about those logo embroidered trousers.
Can you hear
What
me?
is up with
Yeah.
these pants? I see these out there, and I'm men actually wearing this. Come on, guys. Again, getting back to point one, unless the company is paying you to wear these, do not wear those
Dennis, I can
pants.
hear you, mate. I'm
Number four,
wearing
the
this.
side cut tank top. Some guys think this is their greatest do-it-yourself project. Guys, that's great that you've got
Big
a
G's
good
got
body
one
that
of
you
them,
take care
Defo.
of, but understand that you can wear a normal t-shirt and show off your body if the t-shirt actually
what's he
fits you.
doing
You
with my
don't have
fucking
to be,
picture?
giving us that side view. Really unnecessary. Number 5 on this list, pointy shoes. Now, I'm all for a knife blade coming out of shoes. That's pretty cool, kind of James Bond-like. But we're talking about those pointy shoes. That is the style. And if it looks like you could kick somebody and pierce their skin, guys, try to avoid that particular style. Next up, and almost the complete opposite of the pointy shoe, is the square toe. So, guys, it's about extremes. Don't go with this square toe look. Look at this picture right here. Avoid this type of shoe. Notice this is not a chisel toe. A chisel toe is one that has much more curve to it, maybe has a little bit of a square at the end, but there is a big difference. Guys, you want to avoid the square toe. And while we're on the subject of shoes, let's talk about Velcro shoes. So I understand if you're a kid, you can't tie your shoes. Okay, you got Velcro shoes. Or if you're an older adult, you've got maybe arthritis in your hands, you've got a medical disability. Okay, I get it then. But if you are a grown man, very capable of tying your own shoes, don't go for Velcro. Number 8 on this list, skinny jeans if you are not skinny. So a lot of guys, they try to go with the fads, they try to go with the fashion. I've got friends that love their skinny jeans. For me, in general, I do not like to see a big man trying to squeeze into those skinny jeans and showing the world what he got. Guys, we just don't want to see it. Number 9 on this list, bling jeans. So these are the type of jeans that use sequins. They use a little bit of sparkles on different parts of the jeans. I've seen them crop over into menswear. So you got guys walking down the street and they've got all these little sparklers in and around their buttock area. Guys, I don't know what attention and why you're trying to attract there. I mean, good luck if it's working for you. For me, I would say avoid them. Number 10 on this list, the deep V-neck t-shirt. So if you're showing a little bit of color, that's fine on a V-neck t-shirt. But if your V is going all the way down to your navel, that's a little bit too much, guys. We're not wanting to show off your man cleavage here. It's just something that society and men and women in general, I don't think we really want to see. Number 11, studded belts. Studded pretty much anything you want to avoid past the age of 10. Next up, baggy clothes. So if you were to take your belt off and everything falls, you need to get new clothing that fits you properly. If you were to put your arms out and your shirt can catch enough wind that it's going to knock you over, you need to get a shirt that fits you properly. Number 13, Ugg boots. Sorry, Tom Brady. Number 14, the choker necklace, unless you're into being choked.
Why would you?
Next up, let's talk about wearing a dress shirt untucked. I've talked about shirts. I've gone into this in great detail. If it is a dress shirt, it is made to be tucked in. Always tuck in a dress shirt. Now, a casual button down, you can wear untucked. That they are often made to. But make sure that you take the shirt to get it adjusted when it's the right length. It doesn't hang down and cover your buttocks. That's going to be way too long. You want to go about 2 to 3 inches below. And if you raise up your arms, you should be able to still cover your midsection. That's going to be the good length for a shirt. But if it's a dress shirt, it is always tucked in. Shiny club shirts. I think they had a moment back in the summer of 2001, and since then, you probably Number 17, anything with wings, anything with flames, in general, unless you are a TV celebrity, you want to stay away from. Now, wolves, especially multiple wolves on t-shirts or on any type of clothing, good to go. Pajama pants in public. Gentlemen, you want to try to avoid it. Unless your house is on fire. You grab your kids, you run out, then yeah, it's perfectly fine. But when I see you at the convenience store, you're grabbing, that case of Old Milwaukee's Best Ice and you're wearing your pajama pants, try to do a little bit better.
That's Chris.
It makes me that I still have to say this, gentlemen. Sandals were not made to go with socks. So try to avoid that combination. Number 20 on this list. Well, gentlemen, that's up to you. I want to hear from you down in the comments below. What did I miss? What is it that you see men wearing that you just wish they would?
Do you want to see what I'm wearing now? Do you want to literally see what
in today's video?
We've all had 4 pairs. Come on. Right, come on, Chris. We've got wolves all over them. But it's a onesie. Come on, Chris. It's not a onesie.
Oh, Chris, you need to have a word with yourself, lad.
You can't show people that when Phil Graham's in the chat.
Yeah, I'm wearing a hoodie with shorts on, right? With knee socks on, and I'm like, who the fuck was that bloke to stand and give us fashion advice? And like, I think basically this is 101. Fuck that, mate. Seriously, it's like, he's too much. He's very worried when he's out about it. He's one of the blokes that spends a lot of time.
You know what I'm more concerned with? Moon, you're coming a bit more feminine, aren't you? You're getting concerned with what you're wearing, lad.
Thank you,
That's what
Jay.
happens when you get 50, bro. That's what happens when you get 50. Slim's saying that's been clipped, Chris, in his onesie there. Was it a onesie, that, or was it one of them sleeping bag things?
It's an hoodie. It's not a onesie. It's an hoodie. I showed you my fucking legs. It's not a onesie. It's an hoodie. Does you want a proper clip of it? Because, again, for me, mate...
Let's have another look at that, because, you know what I mean? Let's have a look at this.
Rick and Morty.
What's actually the pattern on there, Chris? What's on them?
Rick and
Morty. On there?
Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah, I will do, lad.
Oh, I'll get you, yeah. Cool.
Fucking 70 quid this cost, you know?
I'll take it back, mate.
Mate, it's like being in a sheep. I'm not kidding you, boys. It's honestly, but this is, I live in this fucker. I could literally live on the streets with this on alone, that's it.
Dennis, you haven't got one of them, have you?
No, mate, I haven't, no. But it looks comfortable as hell, like, it does, really.
Well, if you had one, you wouldn't show anyone,
if you're comfortable, mate, you're happy, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Right, you would, exactly. This is what I'm saying. Why? Because you would be bothered about people thinking, seriously, it doesn't, but I do apologise if I've offended people by looking, but again, I have to wear it, so fuck you, like, for me, I love it, I do, and I mean, if you saw what I wear on a Saturday, lads, that would be, you know, but we'll keep that to myself.
Yeah, Moon wears a onesie, one with, you know, one of them shit flaps. It looks like a Teletubby.
Coming from
I'll be honest, I've never had a onesie. I've never had a onesie, I'm not lying. My son has, and I remember when loads of people had them, but they weren't for me, like.
You're going to be wearing one of them man bags, aren't you, soon when you wear that Moon, aren't you?
Bum bags, remember bum bags? Phil Graham's got a selection of bum bags, like.
Oh, fanny packs as they're known in America.
I remember them when they were big bum bags.
You can't see the hidden under his gut in it.
They were handy though, weren't they? They were handy, like, but it's just like
they were proper fucking gear. Honestly, they were then and now. It's like I seriously.
I have got some Batman slippers, which is well known. I have showed them.
Moon, yeah, nice them.
But I don't wear slippers. Like, look,
you got Batman slippers.
I've got Batman slippers, yeah.
No, Jay, you meant Fat Man slippers. So like big ones with Velcro on. You know, like to fit his back.
I've got some Chubby Brown slippers, mate.
Yeah.
I
was going to show Chubby Brown thing tonight, you know. I've got a Chubby Brown documentary, like, for 40 minutes. I've done it a day. I was going to do it tonight. It's quite good, actually. You haven't seen it.
What was his real name?
Royston Basie.
Royston Basie, that's it.
Royston Basie, yeah. League of
Quite posh as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, this documentary, it shows you his private life and that, you know, backstage, when he's backstage and that, and it's all set around like Middlesbrough and that. It's quite good. I'll do it another night.
Remember, I'm a cunt. I'm a C-U-N-T. Because you're granny and about her fanny and I wear my boxers back to front.
Dolly Parton's hits and
Frosty the Snowman. Frosty the Snowman, he was a useless cunt. Made him with a 12-inch brick and it stuck out in front when they... Oh, what was the rest of it?
How the hell do you come up with lyrics like, I'll sleep with your granny and I'll bite her fanny?
You won't get away with it now, could you?
No, in all honesty, he did get. It was the same stuff. After a while, it was a bit samey. But I mean, his songs were fucking. He made them up himself. That was that's comical.
Oh, he's talented, you know. He's talented, our Chubby. He's brilliant on the piano and that.
Yeah. He went
to see him live in Spennymoor, right? Me and Louise went. It was a good few years ago now, but he's getting old now. Like, he's getting on now.
I say, he must be like 70 or 80 now.
Well, he's done Blackpool every like summer season. Like he'll do 1 or 2 nights in Blackpool for the last 20 years. I don't know if he's there this year, like, but
see, that's grounded. That's a like he never forgot that. That's going to pay whatever pays he does it because he loves his drink. The crowd's fucking however. He doesn't have to do that, does he? But he'll do that because he loves it. And it's like,
well, he says in this documentary that if he goes, like, say he's doing a 500 seat theatre, he's got to sell 200 tickets before he makes anything. Like, basically, he's got to sell it out to make it worthwhile for him. You know what I mean?
I think he's had to Tony's pretty jokes down there now, isn't he? You know what I mean? He kind of get away with what he used to say.
Well, can you remember when they first come out on video and that, and everyone was like, "Fucking hell." Because we'd all heard of him, but only like you had to go and see him live, didn't you? But then he started coming out with videos. But it was only an 18, isn't it? But you're not going to get language like that on anywhere else, are you?
No, you're not getting away with it now, would he? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, fucking Bernard Mallon was even worse, wasn't he?
Oh, he was fucking brilliant. I loved him.
Wow, some of the stuff he came out with.
Well, he was more racist, wasn't he, Bernard Mallon? He brought more of the racism.
Famous Jim Davison live in the early days. He was excellent. He was funny as out. Well, racist and everything, but it was brilliant. You know what I mean? But you could get away with it then, yeah.
Can you remember Dangerous Brian?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, what was he called? Russ Abbott. Russ Abbott, wasn't it?
I grew up on the young ones and fucking bottom. You know what I mean? And fucking stuff like that.
Mate, Rick Mail's my hero, mate.
Rick Mail, Adrian Edmondson,
Adrian Edmondson. Young ones were fucking awesome, weren't they? Absolutely awesome.
My bag, all that.
Alexis here, like you said, they were all like all together, but it was always Rick Mail, Adrian Edmondson, them two, and he's what he's doing now. It's like you would never think that he'd done that.
Well,
you know?
He got typecast, didn't he? They got typecast, the pair of them, didn't they, on the young ones? Like, they went on and everything was based around them characters, wasn't it? Rick and Vivian.
Yeah.
But
Rick and Vivian.
Bottom was, it wasn't, nothing will beat the young ones, but Bottom wasn't far off.
Well, Filthy Richard Caslap, remember that one? That was a lesser one.
That's what I was going to say. That's a hidden gem, that, you know.
And that is.
Filthy Richard Caslap. Not many people know about it. They did get a series.
Mate, listen, I had Bottom Lives, you know, the live ones. They were like, how I made it. How do you know the jokes that they tell as well? Some of them, when I was younger, didn't understand them, but as you get older, like the innuendos, you get them then, but it was still like clean enough for when you were a kid to not understand it, but laugh. I watched that when we fucking done that when I was a kid. You know, it was great.
Mate, the new ones was out the first time when it was a brand new series. I think I was about 11 or 12, and I wasn't really allowed to watch it. And my mum and dad were like, "Oh no," but I did. And since then, like, I just love anything Rick Mail did. He was like, man, but I see what you mean about Adrian Edmondson. He went all serious, didn't he? He got a few parts in like dramas and that, didn't he?
Well, now he's doing like I don't know, like something like looking at trains or fucking spots in the country. I don't know. Fuck all to do with comedy. Put it that way. And it's like you're looking, you're going, no, I remember he's Eddie. You know, like getting fucking frying pans back out your head, and like, you know, ye fucking spud gun and whatever. You know, like, that was
slapstick in it. You don't get slapstick anymore, do you?
No.
Well, loads of old comedians have done that. And they look at Paul Whitehouse. He's got, and he got like a fucking. Doesn't he go fishing now and go all over the place? That's it. We've got more.
But
he's from Middlesbrough as well. Bob's from Middlesbrough.
Both that fucking
man.
One of them have a heart attack.
They again, Dennis.
I'm saying, did one of them have a heart attack or something, and they're getting together to do this?
Banter, like, I know Rick Mills dead, didn't he? He died young, didn't he? Like, he had an accident or something, didn't he?
Aye. He was.
Freak accident.
That was it's. But like you said, the best ones get taken from you, different young. Like for example, in music or theatre, whatever it is, it's like that's always the case, isn't it?
Did you watch all the League of Gentlemen?
I did.
You see, I want into League of Gentlemen, mate.
I thought they were absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Mate, I didn't get it years ago. Now.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like.
No.
It was a bit niche, that, wasn't it? It was like a bit culty, wasn't it? Like
kind of cunt.
It was like a dark humour, wasn't it? Was Legal Gentlemen. It was like a weird.
What about Thingy's banned now, isn't it? Little Britain's, you can't watch it anywhere now. Little Britain, it's banned.
Yeah, no.
And look at him now.
It was banned.
Look at him now, presenting like fucking the kid. Like, you look at again. That was like like I'm the only gay in the village and I won't not one stuff like that. It's like them mate. That was fucking comedy gold. It was, but
it was great.
You never get anything like that again. Like,
no, it's too politically correct. And
what's the story with him, David Walliams? Can anyone tell us what is he? He's
I can't stand him.
But he's married.
Bisexual, mate.
Yeah, I can't stand him, mate.
He's weird, bisexual.
I don't know. It's just same with Eddie Izzard. Can't stand that twat either.
Yeah, I'm not a great fan of his either.
He's weird as well, isn't he? He's weird as well.
So we all against gays here, then, or what?
No, not do you know? Nowadays, if one of them tries to come up and neck on with us, I'm again. Even if it was a bird, that's not. But for me, mate, it's one of them ones. It's just when they're that far in the closet, they're Narnia still. But it's blatant to see. I'd much rather them just be Alan Carr. You know where you stand, haven't you?
Yeah. Chris didn't fuss it. He'll just do reach around Dennis. He'll touch mine, I'll touch yours.
Just whatever way the flows, mate. You know what I mean? You never know how the night's gonna end.
So what about who remembers Friday Night Live with Stavros and remember Harry Enfield? Oh,
I loved Harry Enfield. Fucking Julio Giorgio.
Load the money.
I want a brown baby, and I need a big brown man for that, Wayne.
Well, that Friday Night Live, you could watch that now and still laugh your tits off of that Friday Night Live.
Yeah.
I used to laugh at
Whiteout.
I used to love Julio Giorgio. Fucking brilliant. Julio Giorgio.
It was funny, very funny.
Wait,
it was the Fast Show, wasn't it? The Fast Show. Like when the Fast Show come out and it's Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse with the geniuses.
See, that was it. That was him doing something new. The Fast Show, that was a bit of different humour. I think again, then I didn't get it, but sort of Monty Python. All that is. That kind of humour, even like Faulty Towers. That there was about 77 episodes of that or something, right?
Yeah, it's mad that, isn't it? That's all it was, yeah.
Something like that. I mean, but I didn't.
Look at Kevin and Perry. Fucking Harry Enfield and Kathy Burke. That fucking took off, didn't it?
Yeah. And well, who's behind the young ones, don't you? Ben Elton. Ben Elton.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses, curly black hair, Jewish fella.
Alexi
Elton, yeah, and Alexi Sale, as well. He was. You don't hear much of him now, Ben Elton, but he wrote everything. Ben Elton.
When he first started being a comedian, I couldn't stand him, but I don't mind him now. Ricky Gervais.
Oh, mate, he's hilarious. He's hilarious, man.
Have you seen that animated thing that they do with that guy that's a real tall fella with glasses, proper ugly fucker?
Carl Templeton.
He does it with Carl Templeton. Yeah, fucking brilliant that is.
Again, mate, that kind of humour it's like The Office. When I first watched it, couldn't fucking stand it, right? Because it was cringe-worthy. But it's designed to do that.
You've got to understand it. You've got to get it. Like you either like it or you don't like it.
Fucking love it now.
But have you seen a film? There's a film. Ricky Gervais made a film, right? The Art of Lying or something. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It was a Hollywood film. It was a big Hollywood film, mate. It's funny as fuck. It's about he plays this part where he can't lie. He just can't lie. So he has to say what he thinks. Someone might know it in the chat. It's called The Art of Lying or something. Mate, it's funny as fuck.
Did you see that? Like, it was a serious like series, but then it had comedy thrown into it. He was like super depressed, and his wife died of cancer. You ever seen that?
I can't remember the name of it now.
Yeah, and then he goes up to that fucking ginger kid at fucking playground, and he just goes, "Look here, you ginger cunt."
His wife dies or something, doesn't she? And he's like miserable as fuck, isn't he? I can't remember the name. Phoenix Knight as well. Paul. Is it not Paul K? Is it? What's he called?
Phoenix Knight was fucking brilliant. Like,
I've never howled so much when they got that fucking bumper castle and it came up with fucking, when it blew it up, that fucking massive cock on end of bumper castle. We've got kids to play on that. They can't play on that. And then he sticks two eyes on top at end at bell end. Look, it's a caterpillar.
How does he think of that though? What's he called? Thingy K, what's he called?
Peter K, yeah.
Peter K, yeah, like just to come up with that social club. He's grew up. He must be the same age as me because I just get everything that he gets. But when he done his lives and that, he's on about teletext and all that, you know. And he always goes on about things that happened in his house, and it's everything that happened in my house. You know what I mean? Brilliant, man! Like you can just relate to everything he says.
Mm. He's back on tour, isn't he? And they sold out. He was the quickest comedian to ever sell out. I think he's got like he's on tour for like 2 or 3 years. It's Peter K. They all sold out that quick.
Mickey Flanagan was up this way not long ago, like.
Oh, Mickey Flanagan! I love Mickey Flanagan.
Brilliant, NEG.
Oh,
he's another one. He's the same age as me as well. Like, because all his humour, like the white van man in it, like, and he does that walk, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm just because he's actually his father was a big criminal, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, that was actually true. That his father used to be a bit of a criminal down south.
I tell you, we've went to see a few times. Lee Nelson, do you like him?
Don't mind him, like he's not bad at all.
Lee Nelson.
He was on. He did a lot of things. He got a couple of series on me.
He did, yeah.
Did he do that David Beckham thing?
I think he did actually. He might have done.
Or he used to go into like sports, like football conferences or like political conferences, and he used to like.
I'm trying to think of the one he done.
He had loads of characters, didn't he, Dennis?
Yeah.
Like but the main one was he was a chav. He come on as a chav, and he did a lot of the what's that one that it's on BBC Two.
He was also a Premier League player, wasn't he? Which one was that?
Yeah.
Player?
Yeah, just Lee Nelson's Real People or something it was called, the series. But we've seen him live a few times. He's really funny, like clever as well. You know, he'd get the audience involved, and he'd go on a break. He'd ask people stuff in the audience, and then on his break, he'd come back out and he'd like add them into the show later on. You know,
did he have his mate? Did he have a mate with him? A big dude
on the stage shows he did. Yeah, big fat bloke. Yeah,
I remember that.
You see, I don't mind that one from North East. That bird, what's her name? Sarah
Sarah Milligan.
Milligan, yeah, she's all right.
She's pretty funny, actually. She is.
Well, she's
Tell you
just
what,
stuff you can relate to, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like,
there's this one out there, mate. I watched it on TikTok, right? He's a Scouser, and it's not really mainstream.
Oh, you're on about Smith. Ginger-haired lad.
That's him, G.
Yeah. He's never gone mainstream, really. He's just done YouTube, hasn't he, really?
TikTok, YouTube, social media. I tell you what, though, he's fucking. Watch it for him, G. Mate, and you know that he's got to blow eventually.
And the best one, I can't believe they cancelled him. To be fair, but fucking Frankie Boyle, that guy is fucking savage. Bring him back.
He was fucking. Like you see, I mean, Jimmy Carr, he's can go borderline, but because he's got that much pull with his shows and stuff like that. I mean, he's got a bit more of a platform. Frankie Boyle, he got silenced, didn't he? Poor bastard.
Yeah, so comedians are shit now, though. Like some of them, like today, this day and age, comedians
can't say now, can they?
Well, that's it. They're afraid of that cancel culture, innit?
Yeah.
Time we on? Fucking hell, I'm up in 5 hours, man. Jesus.
Yeah. Who just went? Has Moon just disappeared?
He's fucking kicked himself. Right. Now, welcome to the Big J Show.
Yes.
We've got Chris the Brick and we've got Dennis on here. So, what topics do you want to talk about, lads? Let's talk about Moon being a bad
and he dresses like a teenager. Let's talk about that.
That's a good point. So, do you report into Moon then, Dennis, or do you? No. So, are you in agreement with Moon that his boss is a bit of a wanker?
No, he's a good lad. If Wayne was any laid back, he would fucking fall over.
No.
Yeah.
I'm back.
What was that, Dennis? What was you saying there, Dennis? Moon's a proper tosser and what?
What the fuck happened there? Fucking shitty tablet. Fucking shite. It went off, man. Saying site can't be reached. Look. See there? Site can't be reached.
Told you before, Moon. You can't search the fucking
like a fucking 25-year-old. You haven't got the brain of one anymore, mate. The computer skills show it all. Right? Your fat thumbs are touching too many buttons, Moon.
Exactly. Yeah, I've told you this before, Moon. When you're doing a live, you can't search on Pornhub, mate. You can't fucking handle it.
You would know, like, wouldn't you?
Hey, your missus, I've heard she's worse one for it, mate. You were telling me.
Terrible. You know, I'll tell you this, right? She'll kill me for this one, right? But I'll tell you. So we both got fire sticks, right? Look at G's loving this one. We both got fire sticks, right? So my fire stick had everything on, right? But the bloke who she got hers off brought it round, but he didn't put the porn on. So she said to him, well, I want the porn on. I'm not having it if I don't have the porn. So he had to come back the next day and put all the adult stuff on. The best thing was it was a friend of a mum and dad's. It was a friend of a mum and dad's.
Oh, it's all coming out now.
You know what I mean? Jesus.
You watch, she's probably dropped off to sleep and she'll wake back up now. Now you mentioned that, mate.
Oh, I hope she's gone to sleep there. Like, she'll kill us for that one. I don't know what happened to me.
Moon, are you for real, mate? Right? Again, come on. She's already, you're already in that book new put fight. I just stay on this live as long as possible, right? Because this is probably she's probably leaving you till you come off. Yeah, you're not gonna embarrass you. So yeah.
I don't know what's happened to my tablet there. I don't know why that's done that. This site can't be reached. It's going mental on me.
There was a robot
laptop
on there just speaking about Moon. That wasn't you speaking there either, but that was just a fucking that was a malfunction. No, let's get our excuses in now.
Jay, you were there the other night, weren't you? We were just getting into the boxing, weren't we, on Saturday night?
Yeah.
And it went off, right? And it went off, and it come back on, didn't it? And then we tried again, and it went off again, right? So after that live finished, right, I went into the studio the next day, and there's a button now where it says clip the copyrighted bits out, just one button, and it does it all for you, right? So I thought, I'll just do that. But when I watched it back, the only thing that was missing was that song at the start. All the boxing's still there.
Are you joking? So it was the song, not the fucking video?
Yeah.
The boxing bit?
It was the song.
Ah.
But it did it. I played the song at the start. So I was
Listen, yeah, that's their rule. They have a day in a fight, mate. Listen,
I was wondering
music's
why.
always been copyrighted.
Well, we was thinking it was the boxing fight, and the boxing fight was like nearly 30 years old.
Yeah, we got to the third round, and then it just went off, didn't it? It just said stream unavailable. It just stopped it. So I assumed it was the copyright on the boxing. Was Nigel Benn, Gerald McClellan. Was a beauty as well.
Yeah, good fight, yeah.
That was.
Did you not see it, Dennis?
I did, I.
Yeah, it was good. People, we were just getting the numbers in as well. People were just starting, like, I was getting into it. Everyone was, and like, it just went off. I was gutted.
But apparently it was that fight's older than YouTube itself, mate. Right? So they're probably not. Again, the music at the start, right? If you saw, I think, yeah, that's a loophole in it, bud. Play all the fucking fights you want from long ago. Just fucking tunes on.
Well, that's because I was going to play something else tonight, G. This documentary, right, was off ITV, right, but it wasn't. It was on somebody else's site. But what I was going to do is play it, and every 10 minutes I was going to stop it, for a minute and just have a bit of chat, and then play it again, just to see if that would work. But
you're only going to find it. Try, Moon. Learn
I know,
risk it for a biscuit.
Like, nobody can really, give us a straight answer with this copyright stuff and that, you know what I mean? Even now, I don't think anyone knows about Video Craig. I think he's a bit of an expert, but...
Yeah, there's a way to do it that you when you look at the video, you can, I don't know if it's on the About page or whatever, but there's a page on it which basically explains, the licensing, or if it's got a licensing on it. And if it's
that small print that you just press accept at the bottom before you reading it all, that'll be in that, won't it?
Yeah.
Just fucking risk it, Moon. Go for it, boys.
I still don't get it, though. I still don't get the copyright laws. Like G was saying, that fight is 30-year-old. What harm is there?
Yeah.
Just more people watching it, you know what I mean? It's like a song, you want your song to be out there, don't you?
Yeah.
Was it that? It was that wrestling song then?
It might have something to do with royalties. Obviously the royalties to that fight, whoever's got them may not be limiting it to anyone. Now, for example, streaming it, because they may, being that old, more people watching it, promote it more. But a recent fight, again, where people are paying royalties for, that's when, I've had one copyright strike.
Well, did you get a strike, did you, Chris? An actual strike, because I've never had a strike.
The video was removed because it was music, and it was like Hollywood did fucking such and such. There was loads of I don't know, at signs and stuff, whatever. And the video was removed, and I thought, well, why? But it was because of music. That's what it was for.
Yeah, my tablet's still not letting me get on StreamYard. It's just saying it can't be reached. DNS address, what's that? What's that mean, G? DNS address could not be found.
Something network server. So it can't. By the sounds of it, it can't connect to your Wi-Fi. Are you on your mobile? Are you using your mobile data at the moment?
I'm using my Wi-Fi on my phone now. Wi-Fi, which is what my tablet's on, but it's
right. Got you.
The Wi-Fi's on.
Has it had an update recently? So it might have downloaded an update in the background, which has then disconnected the Wi-Fi on the tablet.
Yeah, which is why, like, I would have thought it would have come back on now, but it hasn't. Like,
Have you tried switching it off and back on it again?
That's the one, like, in it. That's a classic one, isn't it? It still works to this day, though, doesn't it? That.
Well, yeah, because it resets it all.
Do you not find it reduced, Wayne?
You what, bro?
If not, if all fails, just give it a good old fucking whack. You know what I mean? That used to work with a lot of things back
as
in the
well,
day.
isn't it? So it's 1:20 now, guys. Are you work tomorrow, G?
Yeah, I'm working tomorrow, mate. It's Friday, though, isn't it? Saturday is Friday.
What about you, Chris?
I'm at work today.
You only need about an hour's kip, you, Chris. And Dennis, you're off, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I'm off, yeah, till Monday.
Dennis is loving it because it's what's it been like at work, Dennis, these 3 days?
Oh, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Mint, because you're not there.
So,
yeah, it all fell apart, mate.
That's it.
Yeah, big stuff.
Who's been in charge? Was anyone in, like, helping?
Jordan's been in charge.
Oh, my God.
Exactly. There's only Jordan in, you know what I mean? So
What?
Yeah.
Michael Nellis, it was that bad. Michael Nellis come in at 3:30 this afternoon.
They rang him up to come in?
I rang him up to fetch him in, yeah.
So they did miss us then, didn't they? You know what I mean? They think they don't, but it only takes one person, doesn't it? Dennis, one person, and they're like, the place is fucked today.
Well, there you go, mate. Definitely.
Yeah, well, you know when you disappeared there, man, Dennis was just telling us that your boss is all right, mate. He's not a tosser.
We're all wankers, man. Yeah, we've got worse to come as well, haven't we, Dennis?
No, without the fucking doubt, mate. We're fucking blasted rivers.
Yeah, we'll all be walking out in a couple of weeks because we've got somebody coming on our shift who nobody likes, and like
he's a horrible piece of shit.
Yeah, it's horrible. Could you work with someone who it makes your job? Do you imagine, G, if you had to go and spend your 8 hours of work with somebody who you just didn't like?
You know what you do, Moon? You kill him with kindness, mate. They do your head in, but honestly,
we've worked together for God knows how many years, and this arsehole is coming on, who we know is an arsehole, who will stab you in the back, and he's out shift, you know what I mean? And he's just a fucking total twat.
Yeah. So we've got 12 hours a day with him, you know what I mean? Chris, you must have had them.
I don't even want to speak to him, you know what I mean? All I want to do is snap his fucking leg.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that. The yes men. Yeah,
but he'll stab you. He'll stab you in the back. You know, even Wayne knows this as well. You know what I mean? He'll stab you in the back.
It'll be very different for. Like, he's working in that environment, because obviously in construction, especially with trades, you're having a fight with someone. It depends on the person, because there can't be snotty-nosed twats, but just walk up the site and go somewhere else. But again, we
used our own experiences, you know what I mean, and we get on famously well, and we help each other out, and we do each other, and to get somebody coming in who you know is going to stab you in the back, and he will do. And we know he will do, you know what I mean? And it's
so there's forklifts driving around all the time in the heavy machinery and whatnot. Yeah. What happens if he has an accident? You know, nobody uses it.
Yeah.
Accident of me fucking sticking the forks in the side of his fucking head.
Just anything.
Well, why don't you just do like little? Why don't you do like little pranks then? Does he come to work in a car?
Oh, mate, what's Dennis got? What's the car that he's got at the minute? He does that. What's that thing he does every year?
He's got a dummy in the back of it, hasn't he? He's got a dummy in the back of it. He's got a dummy in the front of it.
Listen, he's got a black cab.
You don't realise what kind of a person this man is.
Dennis, it's a let's get it right. It's a black cab, right? That he's got, but it's turned it into a convert, into like a pickup.
Sort of. It's honestly, like a black cab pickup in it.
We're fucked.
You've got some you've got your hands on industrial clean film, haven't you?
Yeah. We've got one of them rapper things as well.
Yeah, wrap his car. Honestly, after a 12-hour shift, that will proper piss him off to the bottom.
That's been done before that, hasn't it? That's been done before that.
Yeah, we've done it,
we used to do stuff like that at work. It used to be fun, didn't it? Years ago, we used to have crack like that.
Can you remember when I got all the Scotty and I got the fire extinguisher and I just sprayed it. I was there for about 10 minutes spraying his face, his frozen fire extinguisher, and I thought, oh shit, this is running out. He's going to kill me here.
We used to glue people's lockers.
No, man.
What was that other one? What was that other one? That other one. What about Thingy when we made him put a mankini on and run through the factory?
We made him put a mankini on. We dressed him up and I videoed him from upstairs, and he ran downstairs and he ran all the way through the factory. Up to the thick cunt, he didn't fucking realise. He thought he was funny, but no. Yeah,
in a mankini, like
really funny.
So,
but it was all on camera as well, you know. He was saying, "Oh, don't please, don't." I was like saying, "I'm going to send it to the gunners." Like,
can you imagine trying to get away with that these days? Can you imagine?
Oh, that's it. You can't do now like that now.
Well, what we done to one lad, right? Is I'm like the forklift driver. We strapped him and we taped him to the a pallet, and then I picked him up on the pallet when he was taped to the pallet. Took him round the factory, but he was drawing knobs on his head and that. Took him all the way around, right? And then you're talking a big factory as well. Then I took him outside. There's like a pipe comes out which pours water out all of the time, and I put him underneath there. Left him, and just the water was pouring all over his face and that. I had to in the end, I had to I shit myself. Actually, I thought I'd killed him. He wasn't getting any bloody blood through his veins and that, you know what I mean? Oh God, man, shit.
That reminds me when I was in apprentice,
used to fill a cold container full of like cold water. We used to get them and pick them up. Everybody used to grab them and just hoy them in, and then hoy food in them all over the heads.
Very nice place to work. Sounds like, Jay, doesn't it? Very welcoming people. These two cunts, aren't they?
Oh yeah, man. Chris, when you built a house, Chris, have you never put anything in a wall or anything? You know, like, do you know, like I heard when they built Wembley, I heard there's loads of borough flags and that in the walls at Wembley. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the builders were fitting.
The foundations it can be anything, you know. Probably anything you want, but now normally you're meant to put a coin in the chimney and stuff like that. But if you put anything in the walls nowadays, mate, that's a big no.
Is it?
You kind of stuff now in the cavities like you used to, like newspapers and that.
So, Big G, what can you do in your game for a laugh? What can you do with like emails and stuff?
Oh no, I can't do that, man. But like when I was at my other business, we had a good set of lads, man. And there was one guy we used to call him. Well, he was like 6'5". He was fucking massive. Called him Big John. Oh, what a crack he was. So anyway, he had this little fucking white car. It was his missus's car, and we because he parked it like arse end into Edge. We put this massive fucking gay flag on back of it and we wrote on it, "Pap, you're on if you love gays." Anyway, he's driving home because he used to live quite away from business, and he kept getting fucking arm papped at him all the time, all the way home, and he didn't notice. Anyway, his missus took over from the car, went to fucking bingo. She's still getting papped on car on. Anyway, we all got a fucking phone call when he finally noticed. Apparently, a friend of their family's rang him up and said, "John, I find this fucking thing offensive that's on back of your car." Anyway, like I say, just like little shit like that. Or the best one was, we got his car keys and we put loads of toggies all over his car. Anyway, on the way home, he literally he had to pull over, empty the whole of his car and search for these toggers because he thought, if I go home to my missus and she catches me with a fucking Johnny somewhere in my car, I'm going to get divorced.
It's like you put loads of where Louise works, they still do stuff like that every day, right? They do stuff. You know, where you put loads of stuff in, loads of bits of what is it they do? You know, in the air filters, you know, so when they turn the air on in the car, loads of stuff blows out of it. Can't
Like
think
talc
what
and
they're
that.
doing. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
they're always
Stick a
thinking
fish,
about
a
what
fish
work
under the
on.
seat, under the driver's seat.
We used to have a lad at work. I can't remember his name, Moon, but he was a bully. And what he used to do, he used to come in and ride on his bike. And we used to get his bike, and I used to let his tires down every day. He was that much of a fucking arsehole. Every day I used to let his tires down, and the lads used to tape his bike up onto the silos. Can you remember when? You know, the silos outside. We used to tape his bike right the way at the top. He said, "Bully all youngs. You'd only been there a fortnight."
Oh, yeah,
anyway, he got the gist of it, and he fetched a pump in. I filled his pump full of glue, and I drove past him when I was coming out of work, and he's sitting trying to pump his tire up, and there was nothing working. It was great, honestly. What an arsehole he was, like, you know what I mean? He deserved everything he got, like, but it was brilliant.
Yeah, the thing is, you don't know where to stop.
I even put his trainers in the microwave and set fire to his trainers.
Oh yeah, we got pulled in by boss and saying, "Look, here, you need to calm down, lads, because you know we're getting complaints from other people in department that you're going too far, and this is classed as fucking bullying and harassment and shit." I was like, "Oh, come on, give it a rest, man. It's just a laugh."
He's a one for you, right? This was only last week. Dennis decides, right, to come in and have kippers for his breakfast in the canteen.
I only fetched them in because one of the lads who was a bit of a fucking arsehole, Andy Towers, he hates the fucking smell of kippers. So I fetched them in anyway, you know what I mean? Just to fucking piss them off. I don't even like them.
Thinking the whole factory outright for about 3 days. Fucking kippers.
That's my kind.
No need for it, like, even I fell out with him over that.
The fucking Towers is an arsehole.
Next time, stick one of them kippers underneath the seat or something like that, right, on the air.
It's already been done. I've put it in people's bags and everything.
Honestly, I remember when the hot water things. You know, you have your cup of tea with them.
Moon.
Yeah, but
Colin Salt.
Yeah.
Toby kippers. I didn't even eat them. I don't even fucking like them. I cooked them and I put them in his fucking bag, and they were in there about fucking 2 months later, just fucking cascading in the bottom, fucking green, horrible. Fucking dirty bastard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta be. Well, you spend 2/3 of your life at fucking work, man. You might always enjoy yourself and have a crack. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? If you can't enjoy yourself, you know, you enjoy yourself, the fucking ship goes over a bit quicker.
Mate, on our shift now, there's only probably me and Dennis who have a laugh now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And even that's like whenever we can. We just talk shit all day, like.
Well, fucking can't, mate, can we? Because the fucking cameras is all over. I can't even fucking, you know.
When this new company took over,
the machine and fucking stop the machine and just.
That was the first thing they done when the new company took over. The first thing they done was put all these fucking cameras everywhere in the factory and that.
These fucking cameras are fucking excellent. You can fucking zoom in.
Oh,
honestly, it's unreal. I just keep fucking sticking my fingers up to them. You know what I mean?
But you on clock as well? Do you have to? You still have the old-fashioned fucking clocking in?
No, we all face verification now. Like,
yeah, you have to look into a fucking little box and it looks in your eyes and tells you.
If you clock out before fucking 5 to 7 in the morning, you get fucking docked. They dock you an hour.
That is fucking savage. That.
You know when I went to class where you do it, me.
You know, when the clocks went back and we got the 12-hour shift and that, we only done 11, didn't we? Remember, Moon?
Well, they went forward the other week,
you only got paid for the fucking 11 and all the bastards, you know.
Yeah, the doctors an hour for that.
Yeah, they fucking did, mate. Fucking shit, man. They'll take every fucking penny off you, you know what I mean? Fucking
the tight bastards.
Yeah.
It's bad, man.
These people who took over us at the moment, they called PFF, they're fucking shit. Absolutely fucking shit.
Proper fucking flids.
Horrible, mate. Horrible. It's not good at all.
PFF. Proper fucking flids.
I didn't want to get out of the place, you know what I mean? Because I like the people I work with, but it's coming to the case now. I need to get out, like.
You know what it is? You know what we do. We do plastic food packaging, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you're always going to need food packaging. Like, we've been doing it. I've been doing it since I left school, just about, and like, I've seen it the way it's changed and whatever, because the environment and everything, they've got to like move with the times, you know, with like getting biodegradable stuff and that.
Mm.
And like, the company who we had before, they haven't really upgraded. They're going to get left behind. But this company is they're investing a lot more in that type of thing. But it's getting the point now where experience, it doesn't mean anything, because the machines they've got now, you just press a button and they're away. Whereas our experience is setting the machines, you know, to get them to run. Whereas they're going to phase them out, and my experience will mean nothing in a few years. That's why I want.
Yeah, definitely.
It's right, isn't it, Dennis?
Yeah, it is.
You've got any mug can go and turn a £2 million machine on, and that's it. You just turn it on. Whereas our machines, you're babysitting them all shift, constantly, because they're old and that, and
dropping the bit.
Well, you can transfer your skills, or lads, to something else. And I mean, if that was to happen, obviously with the experiences they've got, it's not just obviously going to be relevant in that industry, is it? Or that thingy. There's always going to be fucking places for people with like a skill set like yourself.
Chris, that's it now. I'm at that point now where if I don't move now and try something else, I'm not going to. I'll end up dying in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you will.
I've got to do it now because I'm 50 and that, and I'm just thinking, because you know when you go for a job, right? There's a 50-year-old and a 30-year-old, and we're both the same. You're going to go for the 30-year-old, aren't you?
Course, no matter what you've got.
I know the laws behind it and everything, like equality and everything, but it's just natural. That's the way it is. Like,
they don't even have to go into the discrimination side, because if they choose them over you, regardless, it can just be in their eyes, like, because they suited the role more. It's like I would be honestly, I would always want experience. Me, and again, it's
same.
That 30-year-old could be more experienced and have more qualifications than you, even though he's only 30, but also he could have more qualifications but no experience. And again, it's like, if someone wants to pay someone less money, then 30 and 50 surely is began for the same salary. And it's like, I'd always want someone with a head on their shoulders.
Look what they did to Barry. You know Barry. Look what they did to Barry. Right? They forced him out because he's got diabetes. They forced him out of the place, and he's gone. Yeah. He got forced out. He got forced out, Barry.
Diabetes. There's not much mental health about him. He's just one of the lads, you know what I mean? But he's diabetes. They fairly went against him. Fairly.
It was shocking. It was absolutely shocking what they've done to Barry.
You're right, like, it was fucking shocking.
And I don't know how much they've given him, right? But he didn't have a clue when he went in.
They give him 10 grand, Moon. That's what they give him. They give him £10,000.
Well, it's a few months' work. Like,
they give him 3 months' wages and 10 grand. That's what they give him.
Fucking hell.
Oh, she's back in chat. She's back in chat, Moon.
Oh, she.
Yeah, she.
The wife back. We
found out some stories about you.
You be here yourself.
There's nobody who loves a practical joke more than Louise, honestly. That's what she goes to work for. Like, she just...
Wayne, in the last 3 months, I've turned down 3 jobs.
Have you?
Just for the simple fact I like the people I work with, you know what I mean? You're better off where you are, like. I am, honestly, mate. It's better money as well, you know what I mean?
It's one of them, when you've been at a company for so long, your feet are under the table, aren't they?
Doesn't it? It's hard to leave, like.
You're comfortable, Moon. That's what it is, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
And the thing that you need to learn, though, mate, you get paid fuck all extra for loyalty.
Oh,
it's better the devil you know, innit? Better the devil you know.
And you need, personally, if I was you lads, look after number one.
It's hard when you've worked with fucking somebody for 15 years, you know what I mean? And I've got like you know, Tanya, you know what I mean, Wayne?
Yeah.
An older woman, you know what I mean, and she's struggling, you know what I mean. So I'm fucking helping her out, and I'm doing more than I should do to help her out. It's hard. It's hard to leave, like.
Mate,
At least you've got this.
Go.
At least you got this, boys. You still have to work with me or G, right? So that's a fucking plus.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Like, and I mean, we're not outside. We're not outside in the winter. We're inside, but which is a good thing.
Inside. Never mind the fucking winter.
But recently, I've never ever said that I hate my job, but recently it's getting that way. Like the last year or two, I can't. I don't like going to work now. I don't like it.
Can you imagine Rivers next week, mate? And a new manager
who doesn't do
anything.
One thing after another. If you got a new boss, right? A new boss, would you think that he would come and introduce himself to like a manager, another manager? So we got a new boss, and he hasn't even introduced himself to like a shift manager. You know what I mean?
That tells you a lot about his personality, though. Straight away there, though. So again, it's like he's not there to make friends. He's gonna shit. You've got to keep your eye on him.
Yeah, he's there to make profit.
Now you learn a lot by people just fucking observing them like that, and that tells you a lot about his personality. And he's probably narcissistic and that, and you mean fuck all to him. So
if you're happy in your job, you're laughing. You know, you're lucky if you like your job. You know what I mean?
Can I just tell you something? This fucking new manager's in for a fucking shock.
Well, he is, because at the end of the day, you should be getting on with your workforce. They're working for you. And for you.
We don't give anybody the lickings of a fucking dog, do we?
No, if he's not nice to us, we can make his life a misery as well. You know what I mean? But it's one of them. It's one of them, man. We'll see what happens in a few weeks. Like it'll go one way or the other. Like
now, I'm definitely gone. Like
yeah.
I've got to go. Like I really got to now. It's fucking shit now. Like. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Because, as I say, I love the fucking people I work with, but fucking shit, man. It's fucking mad now.
You'll have to find a new spot together, you two.
You know what? Like, our ideal scenario is getting made redundant, innit, Dennis?
Of course it is, yes, mate, aye.
Getting something off them. And sitting on the fucking course and all that and selling fucking...
Moon. I've got 14. You've got...
This time I've got about 13 years, but I worked for them before for like 10 years.
Remember that.
And I left. Yeah. But I've got about 13 years, but it's capped now, isn't it? Redundancy's capped.
I think it's capped at 15, Moon.
Is it?
Yeah.
They don't have to pay you any more than that, you know, if you're only young, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And they'll pay you.
Boys, look, that's the end of my shift. I'm clocking out.
Yeah, mate, I've got to be going in a minute as well, Chris.
Yeah.
Thanks one though, Chris, for spending the night with us, lad.
Dennis, Big G Moon, also thank you very much, mate. Honestly, it's been a fucking pleasure. It has. Longer than normal, but that's me going to keep now.
That's it, Chris. You don't have to be slagging someone off to have a good time, do we? You know what I mean?
Legends, right? See you all later, boys.
Yeah, bro. You know what? You've done well to keep Chris on the panel for what? 2.5 hours? You know that, G, don't you?
Yeah. He's usually flip-flopper, isn't he? And usually you can't shut him up.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell he was either getting tired there. I think he was getting a bit tired, but...
Yeah, he's a bit of a wet wipe, isn't he?
You're not running out of cans.
Yeah.
He likes the whiskey, I think, Chris.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, he's all tucked away in his Rick and Morty fucking onesie, whatever it's called.
See this, like collect and sell golf balls, and you know what? If I wanted to, I could make a wage out of that. If I did it, if it wasn't working, I could make a wage out of it.
Pack in and go fucking golf ball pigeon.
Louise would have to support me a little bit, like that's the only thing.
She would, bless her.
Well, that's it, man. You know, we're in 2023. You know, you should be a gentleman of leisure.
Exactly, at my age, I should be getting looked after, like, shouldn't I?
That's right, man. Yeah, she needs to pull a finger out.
Is she saying now?
Oh, yeah.
I can't get it. As soon as I go into messages, Moon, I lose the fucking whole lot. So I don't even fucking go on. So I can't see any messages.
You know what? Big G, we've got to get Dennis. How to get him onto being in the chat. He still can't join the chat. He can only come on the panel.
No matter what I do.
What's he doing? Where's he doing?
How are you logging in? Is it actually?
I'm logging in through Google.
Through Google's.
On the YouTube, but I just can't. Every time I click on the chat, it says it's not supported.
Have you updated Google?
Not that I know of.
You might need an update on Google, mate.
It's weird, it's weird because
Wayne was supposed to the Moon was supposed to do it for me on the last night shift, but he never got fucking round to it because he was too stressed.
Yeah.
We will. You just need to look. Just go to your apps and then what you call it, like force update on Play Store.
The thing that I keep trying to update it keeps going to my Google Music because I have a Google Music account. So
right.
Yeah, so
he's on an iPhone though, G. He's an iPhone man.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I don't do iPhones. I ain't got a fucking clue.
I haven't got a fucking clue either, mate. Yeah, I just pay for the fucker.
We will get to the bottom of it though, Dennis. We'll get to the bottom of it.
We will do.
Yeah, man.
But StreamYard's all right.
Yeah,
I'm on that now.
Well, yeah, StreamYard's all right, but when you just launch Google, does that? Can you watch videos on Google? Sorry, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
Do everything. I just can't get on the pig and chat.
I think it isn't linking up to his Google account. I think it's just a guest account.
Are you listening, Moon?
Yep. I'm taking it in. I'm dying to work it out for you, mate. I want to get the bottom of it.
I'd love to.
So are you? That was the other question I had. Are you doing it through? So when you go onto YouTube, are you doing it through the Google browser?
I've tried everything. I've went through Google Chrome, Google, and Safari, and I can't do it. Just
right.
Will not
download the app. Download the YouTube app.
Right. What I might do is delete the app and then try again. Yeah.
Yeah. Delete the YouTube app, then re-upload it, and then log into YouTube using your Google account.
Right.
And then it should link up. It should all sync together.
Hopefully. Are you listening, Moon?
Yeah. Next time, Dennis, you'll be on.
Monday night will do, mate.
Oh, don't talk about Monday night, yeah. That's miles away from me at the minute.
Right, I'm off, lads. Nice
Good night. Nice speaking to you.
I'm going to wrap it up, lads.
Legend, mate.
Good one.
Yeah, see you later, Moon. Don't
right. Yeah, I'll bring you something, mate. Don't worry.
Okay, bud. Cheers, bud. See you
later, lad.
See you after.
Nice one, people. Well, that was a bit of a weird start, but we got there in the end. I'm going to have to change the title, put another picture. God knows what I'm going to call it. But I will change it now because it was absolutely nothing to do with the murder documentary. But we'll have to do that another night. But still turned out all right. Not massive numbers, but all the good lads were in, lasses. I know there's other lives on and that, and we just got to keep plodding on, haven't we? Keep doing what you do. Yeah, I can't even play us out with anything, people, because I'm on my phone. I don't know what's up with this tablet. Fuck me off again. So it'll be a sharp ending. Slim, Lou, Nostog, Dennis, Big G, respect to everyone, Chris the Brick, Big respect, everyone. Phil Gray, nice one, bro. Smithers, Ginge, everyone who came in, man, I appreciate it all. And I'll see you all very soon, probably tomorrow sometime. Till then, ciao for now.